All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you for about an hour and a half today. So I'm going to get into it. By the way, the phone lines are not open. The phone lines are not open. I'll let you know when the phone lines are open. Do a little something different today with the phones. The past 2 days, I haven't even had a chance to say hello to everybody, and the calls start coming in. And I appreciate y'all calling. I really do. But, I have to say some stuff, and then I'll open the phones, and then you can call in. 513-717-KING. That's 513-717-5464. That'll be the number to get on board when I open up the phones. But, of course, before I do that, I want to say hello to the people, because I love my people, and you are my people. If you're watching this, you're probably my people, except for the haters that sneak in to watch because they want to hate. Then you probably not my people, but you being there sneaky, and it's cool. You can watch and hate all you want. I don't mind. All right, let's get it going. Robert Willis in the house. Good afternoon, Robert Willis. We got Erica Hummins representing Reading. Good afternoon, Erica. Anthony Prosser in the house. Good afternoon, Anthony. Terry Anderson representing downtown. Good afternoon. And David Herring rounding out the top 5. Thank you guys for checking it out. I see somebody saying no sound. No sound? Robert Willis said no sound. Can you guys not hear me? If you can hear me, just let me know you can hear me. I'm going to stop talking until somebody say we can hear you, or no, we can't hear you. Well, if I stop talking, then you won't know. So, can you hear me? Check 1, check 2. Hey, check 1, check 2. Somebody let me know something. All right, Erica. Erica says I can hear. All right. And a few other people are now saying we hear loud and clear. All right. Robert, something might be wrong with your, he says it's back on. Okay. Well, thank you for the heads up. I appreciate it. That's important to me that you be able to hear me. Otherwise, just lips moving, Chinese moving. No offense to Chinese people or Chinese filmmakers. Let's see. Where were we at? David Herring. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, David Herring. I think he was rounding out the top 5. LaDonna. LaDonna says, I didn't know we're on. We just came on. Like you are the 6th person. So yeah, we just came on. Tanika in beautiful Orlando. Tanika, I think we cool today. It felt decent out there. I think we about 70. Hold on, let me see. I gotta check. See if we cool today. Yeah, we cool. Yeah, it ain't no 77. That thing say 77. It wasn't no 77 degrees out there. I don't care what they say. It was not 77 degrees. But we cool. But it felt decent. David Harris say hit the countdown, little baby. Little baby not here. Little baby not here. Little baby was on spring break, so little baby stayed with her mama yesterday and today. But I bet when she get here, first thing she gonna want to do is that countdown. Let me see. Okay, a few people saying that they can hear. Anthony Prosser, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Tanya Cooper, she says, I can hear you just fine. Tanya, you don't never speak to me. You don't never speak to me. You don't never say hello from Hartwell. I don't know where you're from. But you don't never speak to me. My feelings are hurt. But I'm glad that you can hear. I'm glad, Tanya. And good afternoon. Maria Smith representing North College Hill. Good afternoon, Maria. Good afternoon. Lamont Jones out there in Westwood. Good afternoon, Lamont. Iona Bentley representing Finneytown. Good afternoon. I was taking some lessons and they told me that I sing and speak wrong. I do my mouth kind of wide. They said you should more do a circular thing. So I'm going to work on my speaking doing the circular thing. It's going to be weird because I really have to concentrate. That's what I was told. That's what I was told. Iona Bentley, representing Finneytown. Good afternoon. Lewis Talbert in the house. He says, I'm late. Good afternoon. You're not that late. We really just started. Jimmy says, you are so disrespectful. I hate to hear that. I don't know what I did that was disrespectful, but I'm sorry you feel that way. Dwayne Larkin in the house, representing Mount Airy. Good afternoon. Jerica said, y'all some haters. I didn't get a notification. Y'all don't want me to be first. Hola, Jerica. Andrea Bustle, representing Gulf Manor. See how I'm focusing on it? Representing Gulf Manor. Good afternoon. Crystal Hoskins, representing the Christ Hospital. Good afternoon. And I'm not just doing the mouth thing. I'm also trying to talk from the belly, because you're supposed to talk and sing from your belly. So I'm working on that as well. Crystal, representing the Christ Hospital. Good afternoon. Sierra Brooks in the house, representing Boston. Good afternoon, Sierra. Nat Turner, representing Madville. Gotta say Nat Turner like that. You got to. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Tanika, this is literally a fair weather friendship. When we have fair weather, we cool. Now, if we both have bad weather, we cool. But you can't be in good weather and me be in bad weather and us be cool. What I look like? Chris says, are you taking vocal lessons where? I don't know that I can share that information. The circular thing is not looking good. Hey, you know what to tell you. Good afternoon, Sean D. Nutter. I don't have to over enunciate, but because I'm focusing on the circular thing, I'm focusing on, it's a work in progress. DeWanda Wise Hunter, good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. David Martin, representing Hebron. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We got Fame in the house, representing Queens Boulevard. Okay. Good afternoon. B-Rab say, what up, Emanuel, from I-75. Oh, when I was on I-75 earlier today, it was crowded, backed up, not moving, coming south on 75. Carolyn Smith, good afternoon. Good afternoon. We got Scott in the house, representing West Walnut Hills. Tanika says diaphragm. Yeah, but I know, but you know, it was a way that it was described to help me better achieve. So, Jacqueline Carter says, hey, checking in from my porch in Evanston. All right, Evanston. Twin in the house, representing Kroger and Northwood University. Oh, the shirt. Okay. Mike Ballard Sr., representing Woodlawn. Good afternoon. That's everyone so far. So good afternoon to everyone. I appreciate you guys checking out the show. I wanted to hit on a few things real quick and then open up the phone lines. So a few things really, really fast, and then I'll open up the phone lines. Story number one. See, Diddy is in, I don't know that he's in more trouble, but someone else has filed a lawsuit against Diddy. Some of this stuff, if it's true, yes, this Sean Combs has some issues. If all of this stuff is true, if some of this stuff is true, Sean Combs has issues, okay? We know some of it is true because we saw the video. But there's a photographer who claims that, and he's suing, he claims Diddy was on a commercial shoot and Diddy asked him to come to his trailer. He goes to the trailer and he says, I guess they talk for a second, and apparently out of nowhere, he said he wanted him to come to the trailer to talk about some career opportunities. I try to put myself in these people's places. I'm thinking if I'm on a commercial and on a commercial set, and for whatever reason, I'm a photographer, which I know how to take pictures. So it could happen. I'm taking pictures. That was my shutter sound. And I see Sean Combs. I know this dude got money. I don't know he freaky like that. Because everybody apparently didn't know he was freaky like that. And he says, hey, bro, I want to talk about some career opportunities for you. I know he do the bad boy thing. I know, he's a media mogul. I wouldn't really think twice about going to his trailer to talk about some career opportunities. So nothing wrong so far. We sitting there. We're talking about career opportunities. Everything's going pretty good. And out of nowhere, Diddy unzips his pants, pulls out his penis, and says to me, if you suck, this is a quote, if you suck right, I'll make your career take off. That would definitely catch me off guard. No doubt about it. It would catch me off guard. And I would be highly offended. I don't know that I was socky, you know what I'm saying? But I would think, I'm telling you what I would think. I'm gonna knock this nigga out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would think. But I probably wouldn't attempt to do that. I would just turn around and leave. That's what I would do. Because, I'm not gay. I don't do that. So that's what I would do. I would turn around, I would leave. And I might or might not go tell, I guess whoever brought me in, executive producer or director or whatever, hold on, let me tell you what this nigga just did. But I might not actually do that. I might not tell nobody. He did some foul stuff and I left. And that would be the end of it. Possibly I wouldn't have any more dealings with him. But that's what he told him. If you suck right, I'll make your career take off. He says the implication was clear that if he didn't give Diddy satisfactory oral sex, his career would go up in smoke. So he sucked it. What? Diddy's accuser, who says he's a straight male, claims he complied and performed oral sex on Diddy under a coercive threat. And he says when Diddy climaxed, he was told to hold Diddy's semen in his mouth like a squirrel. This is from the lawsuit. I'm not making none of this stuff up. This is from the lawsuit. I'm just I can't imagine past leaving. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even in the trailer at this point. So in my mind, I can't imagine none of this stuff actually happening. Diddy told him, hold it in your mouth like a squirrel. That is not funny. That is not funny. But he says he's a straight man. I don't know of any straight men that would do that. If you suck it right, your career take off. Oh, I think he's threatening my career. Let me suck it. What? The guy claims he didn't do as Diddy asked. And he was met with a threat of physical violence, so he spit it out, apparently. Diddy said, hold it in your mouth like a squirrel. He didn't say he spit it out. He might have just held it in his mouth. I don't know, like some other animal. I don't know. But He said he did not comply and he was met with a threat of physical force. He says Diddy then kicked him out of the trailer and he had to go back to work, grappling not only with the trauma of the situation, but with the knowledge that he had Combs' semen on and inside his body. So he swallowed. I'm sorry, I didn't read the whole thing. Okay, let's say for the sake of argument, I can bring myself, mentally I can imagine I did it, which I really can't. And then he telling me hold it in your mouth like a squirrel. And I don't want to hold it in my mouth like a squirrel. I would imagine I'm going to spit it out. I'm not going to swallow it. He swallowed. Oh my God. So he had to go back to work with the knowledge that he had Combs' semen on and inside his body. He says he never heard from Diddy after the alleged incident, which he says happened in 2022 or 2023. And he suffered from immeasurable emotional and mental pain and trauma. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I didn't read the whole thing before I started reading it because they didn't put all that extra stuff in the story that I read. And I just, oh my God. Oh my God. If that's true, Diddy is a monster. He's a monster. But at the same time, that photographer was gay. I'm sorry, if everything that the photographer says is true, for real, just run the scenario. I'm taking pictures. Hey, come to my trailer, bro. I love the way you're taking them pictures. I want to talk to you about a career opportunity. All right, this Diddy, he gonna give me a career opportunity. I want to be down. Get in the trailer, like, man, I like the way you taking them pictures. Everything is all good. You know what I'm saying? I can make your career blow up. Zip. If you suck it right. If you suck it right. Hold on, I want to say the quote. If you suck right, I'll make your career take off. That's a quote allegedly from Diddy. And for whatever reason, I'm not leaving. I want my career to take off. So I give in and I suck it. And he climaxes in my mouth. And then he tell me, yeah, now hold it in your mouth like a squirrel. And I don't want to hold this in my mouth like no squirrel. So I swallow it. And then I feel misused. And I got to go back to work. And I got some of it on me. Like, ugh. You was already gay. It's not your fault that you gay. Like, this kind of is your fault. Because you could just not do it. Is Diddy wrong? Is Diddy wrong for making the proposition? It's not like Diddy is his boss. Morally, Diddy is wrong, but it's not like Diddy is his boss. Like if I'm with some chick and she's sexy, and I say to her, you know what I'm saying, you don't work for me, whatever, but hey, if you give me some, I can make your career blow up. Is that illegal? Let's say we in Nevada. Is that illegal? DeAndre says, well, did his career take off? No, he never heard from Diddy again. Diddy played him like a one-day stand. He said he never heard from Diddy again. His career did not take off. If I'm like, say that case comes I'm on a jury, and I think if that case comes to me and I am deciding, I don't know if I give him anything. I don't know if I give the photographer, I was going to call him something else. I don't know if I give the photographer anything in this case. How you going to tell me you perceived a threat? He didn't threaten you. He gave you a promise, but he didn't threaten you. You had options. You had options. Walk out or do what he said do, fighting, anything. You had options. If I'm sitting on a jury in this civil case, Diddy, go home. Diddy, you nasty as hell. You's a nasty But in this particular case, dude, you could have left. You could have said no. You could have socked him. You know what I'm saying? Anything. You could have got something right. I mean, anything. I don't know. But you were not forced to do anything. So I don't know. In this particular case, I'm sorry, bruh. First, you gay. You, first thing first, just come out the closet and say, I'm gay. Because I don't believe as a straight man, I don't believe that straight men would operate like that. So first, just come out and say, I'm gay. I don't know how he knew I was gay, but I'm gay. And I decided, you know what I'm saying, the offer was there and I already liked him and it would help my career. And I don't know, I guess you're pretty good at it. So I decided to go ahead and show him my skills. But I don't know. I don't think you benefit financially from that. You ashamed because I guess technically Diddy's excuse could be, I said. Hold on, let me see what he said again exactly. If you suck right, I'll make your career take off. And Diddy could say, he didn't suck right. Those were the options on the table. Not if you suck, then I'm gonna make your career take off. But if you suck right, and right, it's subjective. So for Diddy, that means if you do it the way I like it, then I'm gonna make your career take off. So he didn't even breach contract, even assuming that they had any sort of verbal contract. Diddy could say, I didn't even breach the verbal contract. He didn't do it to my liking, so I didn't make his career take off. But first thing first, dude, say you gay. Just say you gay. Because straight men are not doing that for no photography career. I know a lot of photographers and videographers that are straight, and I can guarantee you one of two things would have happened. What I said, just leave, or somebody would have been socking Diddy. You don't, not sucking Diddy, socking Diddy, knocking that nigga out. Don't even approach me like that, nigga. He's gay. The other story I want to kind of talk about, and we can discuss this stuff. I'll go through and look at the comments, respond to comments, and in a moment, I'll open up the phone lines. You guys can call in. Got to talk about this whole Marvin Sapp thing. You know, everybody talking about Marvin Sapp. Everybody talking about the whole Marvin Sapp thing. So I got to talk about it. I don't know if my opinion is going to line up with other people's opinions. But let's see. Hold on. Now let me do this right. Do that there. Do that there.
Close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. I just think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife Melinda P. Sapp was alive, was a good date. I could take her to the movies, buy a box of popcorn, get 1 soda, 2 straws. I wasn't cheap, that's swag. I was looking in her eyes, she's looking in mine. Can't do that no more. Now everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. I got you. Let's see. So put your 20 away, preachers. That 20 wasn't for you. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on the, take your phone and stick it on the bucket. Shh. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. This ain't the time to talk. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints. This is an easy miracle. We should be able to raise $40,000 tonight just from y'all giving. Close the
All right. So that's what happened. I don't remember. Somebody said this happened a while ago. I don't know all of the details. I just saw it a few days ago. And here's my thoughts on it. I don't really have a problem with it. Okay, I get it. Oh, he closed the doors on the people. Look, you got a case if you was like, excuse me, I'm trying to leave. And they was like, no, you can't leave. So if anybody say, I was trying to leave and they would not let me leave until they got $40,000, then you got something. But typically, close the doors. That's not holding you hostage. That's just realistically speaking, that's not holding you hostage. Let me close the doors. Oh, let me get out of here. I'm trying to leave. You can't leave nowhere. Holding down. You ain't going nowhere. All right, you got something. I doubt that happened to anybody. It don't sound good, outside of the context of what it was. It don't sound good. But I don't have a problem with him saying close the doors. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. 1,000 people give $20. I don't have a problem with that. If I'm there and I feel like giving $20, you know what I do? I give $20. If I'm there and I don't feel like giving $20, you know what? I don't give $20. He didn't say, if you don't give $20, we gonna F you up. You know what I'm saying? He challenged 1,000 people to give $20 and he challenged all the preachers to give 100. You still, just like that photographer, you got the option. Yeah, well, he said a miracle. He said a miracle. Okay, you don't believe that you're going to get a miracle, and thus you don't want to give the $20. Don't give the $20. Now, if they was beating niggas' ass like you didn't get $20, you got something. But they didn't force anyone to do anything. He heavily suggested that you might get a miracle if you did it. And some people believe that, some people don't. But if I'm there, if I'm anywhere, and they say, close the doors, and I feel like, oh, I might not be able to get out, you know what I'm gonna do? And I wanna leave, I'm gonna say, excuse me, because I don't always sit on the end seat. Excuse me. Where you going? I'm leaving. He said, close the doors. Hold on, you telling me you're not letting me out? Oh, no, you can go out, because ain't nobody gonna hold you hostage. Ain't nobody gonna hold you hostage. I get to some people how it looks. But asking people to give money, it's not a crime. And like I said, if you don't want to give, just don't give. You have options. Now, if I'm sitting there and I feel like it, I might get 40. I want a double portion. Church propaganda, not propaganda, church speak. I want a double portion. DeAndre said, why you got to close the doors? I've been in a lot of churches. My daddy was a pastor. So I've been in church my whole life. And there was a span of probably about 2-3 years when I didn't go to church regularly. But other than that, my whole life, I've been in churches regularly. It's not unusual to close the doors at certain times. A number of things happen. And for whatever reason, sometimes during the offering, that's the period where they collect money. During the offering, people do start moving around a lot. People go to the bathroom. People be out in the little hallway, the vestibule. People be out in the hallway. They be talking and close the doors. We don't need confusion right now. Close the doors. Now, he did respond to some of this, and I don't have exactly what he said. But the gist of what he said is, look, we close the doors for, number one, to keep down talk and confusion. Number two, for safety's sake. People are handing and passing money around. You never know who might come up in here. So for the safety of the people giving money, for the safety of the people collecting money, we close the doors. That one I don't buy too much. But there do be confusion and stuff a lot of times going on during offering. Close the doors. Close them. He did not say close and lock the doors. He did not do, I was about to call him Judge Joe Brown. Joe, whatever the dude, they used to call me Crazy Joe, now they call me Batman. That dude. He didn't put chains on the doors and lock them. Anyone could have left. Anyone could have left. So, and anyone could have chosen to give or not give. So I think it's a perception thing. But I don't have a problem with what he did. I don't really like it when they do that. But yeah, I don't care. I've been in a church where it wasn't very many of us, and a preacher told me to give $100. Like, challenged me personally to give $100. You know what? I didn't sweat it even a little bit because I didn't have $100. For real, he tried to, God told me to tell you that you're supposed to give $100 tonight. I know God didn't tell you that because I ain't got $100. I don't have $100. Why you lying on God? What, I look like I got money? I might have looked like I had money at that time. I was wearing a suit the whole night. So I might have looked like I had money, but I didn't have no money. So I didn't even feel bad. It's like, I ain't got no, I didn't even say it like I don't have $100. I didn't have to say it. The Holy Spirit told me, brother, that you are supposed to give $100. Well, he picked me out. Interesting. I was willing. If God would have dropped $100 out the sky in my hand, I would have given it to him. Because that was the only way that he was going to get $100 from me. Because I didn't have it. And so I didn't feel bad about it. Like, not giving it. And he kept coming back to me. That's all I kept doing. I didn't even say nothing. And eventually, the time moved on, and it was what it was. So every time somebody say, challenge you to give, all that kind of stuff, you have the option. Now, look, I get it. If you are not, in church culture, some of the stuff seems heavy-handed and all of that kind of stuff, and it seems manipulative and, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. That I did not think was heavy-handed. If you didn't want to give, as I keep saying, you had the option, just don't give. If you felt captive, try to leave. If I'm so uncomfortable, I need to leave, then leave. I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't have a problem with it. Hold on. I think it was one more thing I got to look here. I'd be trying to do a little something. Hold on. What's this? No, not that. Definitely not that. Okay, that. Okay. I think I'll open up the phone lines. 513-717 King. 513-717. I'm trying to talk and type at the same time, and that's very difficult for me to do. 513-717 King. That's it's updating the app. Hold on. Yes, okay, the phone lines are open. 513-717 King, 513-717-5464. So if you want to comment on the story about the photographer who is clearly gay, you can give us a call and we'll talk to you about that. If you want to talk to us about Marvin Sapp, we'll talk about that. I'll look at your comments and go through those as well. But right now, let's get to the phones. Ron D., how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good.
Good. This is a fantastic day, man. Look, now, I remember when I was a young saint, and I equated giving with blessings. Now, giving, it's a blessing to give. I ain't never been shortchanged, but it's a thing where I've had my last and did what I needed to do, and I didn't, I had no more money left. And I had my, I didn't get immediate money. So I had to suffer. And I did that on occasions till I learned better. I had to learn not to, give my last. Now, and I used to always talk about my mother because my mother used to always say, God, you can do this or that or the other, but God give you common sense, and I was like, you just got to have faith. Now, you do. And like I said, God ain't never shortchanged me. And I'll tell you a story, but real quick.
All right.
I was living on, what is that? What's that? Anyway, I was living down my on like Princess Square. That's what it was, Princess Square. And I used to work right there. All right now, I used to work right there, around the back. And, I would come home and stuff, come home for lunch and everything. And I was praying one day, and, God said the check is in the mail. And you know what? I'm like, okay. And I just immediately popped up, and I immediately popped up, and I told my wife and my kids, get dressed. I said, I got a check in the mail.
Hold on, what? Wait, hold on. Wait. I'm confused. You said you was on your way home, and you heard that the check is in the mail.
No, I was praying.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I had went home, and I was praying.
Okay.
And I said, God said, the check is in the mail. Now, I don't know where in the world this check came from, and I just didn't understand it. But it's a trip. My wife and kids got dressed, and I went to the mailbox, checked it. This check was in the mail. It was $972. I'll never forget it. And my wife and kids went on and did what they had to do, and got dressed and did everything they had to do, and they had to do or did everything they had to do after they got the money. So my point is that, it's a blessing in giving. But I used to get so mad at my dude, one of my dudes, because he used to say all the time that people be pimping Jesus.
Okay. And
I used to get sucked up angry at him. And it's sort of like sacrilegious for me to him saying that to me, at the time. But Juanita Bynum, and see, it's not just them, because I used to be in that church culture all the time, and it ain't just them. It's all the bull shit. It ain't just them. And Paula White, right now, that's a distraction. Paula White, Marvin Sapp, what is it? Juanita Bynum, what is it? Jasmine, what is it? Not Jasmine, probably Jamal Bryant, all of them, they just down, they, like he used to tell me, they pimping Jesus. And it's a trip now. How come, they'll back up off of, abortion? And one, I ain't gonna say that, but somebody I know that's a minister. We was talking, and they was telling me about the ministers meeting, and he was telling me, how they, stay away from topics and stuff, and they really get to the money.
Ron?
And what's the...
So how did you feel? Like, you feel like what Marvin Sapp did was out of line?
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, now hold on.
Judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. You ain't got the bag for no money.
Ron. I know you're going to get to it, but explain to me kind of what did he do that you think was wrong?
First of all, you don't, and that was what my original point was. When you a young saint, the person in authority, the preacher, Marvin Sapp of no less, they say, oh, Close the door. That's speaking to an authority. That's
Okay.
like, like you were saying, Diddy was letting dude give him head. See, it's the same thing. Diddy doing that, and the dude might have been gay. Well, no, he was definitely gay.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, it's the same thing with a female. Y'all be saying that and this was a whole big thing, Me Too movement.
Marvin.
I'm sorry,
Marvin. You said so. In your mind, there's
it's the same
something,
thing.
So in your mind,
he
I need to understand it in my way.
That's the same thing.
It's not.
It's the same
it is
thing.
so
Diddy.
not the same thing.
No. You're not speaking from the perspective of a young saint. See, because man, listen. I knew it, know it, and grew it. So I've been there.
So then let me understand. So anytime I'm at church and the pastor says close the doors.
No.
So what?
You're
What
gonna
did he
take it
do?
out of perspective. You're gonna take it out of perspective
so what
right
did
now.
He say that was wrong? That's what I'm asking you.
What I'm saying is, now somebody like me or you know better. At least you should know better at 60 years old. You should. But a young saint, I was a 21-year-old saint. 20. When the preacher said something, I obeyed.
But he didn't say anything to obey or to disobey.
Wait, what I'm saying.
All he said was close the doors to the ushers.
What I'm saying is, when you are a young saint and you trying to do, especially when you came from where I came from, what things that I've done.
So in your mind, as a young saint, the minister saying close the doors, what does that mean to you?
When he said close the door, it meant that to stay because God is speaking. And it's a trip. Let me calm down right quick.
Please.
Yeah. Okay. It's a trip because, when you a young saint, you think that they are speaking with the authority and moving in God, period. You respect these men. You respect these women.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't have as many women pastors when I didn't have as many women pastors when I was a young saint.
Ron,
but you respect these men.
So Ron,
yes.
Are you saying that you believe that as a young saint, had you been in that particular meeting, you would have felt coerced to give $20? I
wouldn't have felt coerced when I was a young saint because I didn't know. But hindsight being 2020, that was taking advantage of me being a young saint because I've been in meetings where they've done that. I've been in church services where they've done that. God said do this. God said do. God ain't told you nothing.
But he didn't say God said to do it. We just watched it. He never said God said to give $20.
Okay. No, I didn't say God said. I'm talking from that. No, I'm talking from that perspective. I didn't say Marvin Sapp said God said.
So let's talk about what Marvin Sapp did, because people are saying that he was so wrong, and he never said God said give $20. He said he's challenging people to give $20. He never said people couldn't leave.
Didn't. No. He didn't say challenge either. He didn't say I'm challenging you to give. He said give.
Hold on. You might be right. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me see. I have it here. Let's see.
The doors.
Close the door.
Close to the restaurant.
You ain't gonna do nothing but go to the restaurant.
There's 1,000 of you tonight,
1,000
and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight.
Right. He didn't say God said.
I'm challenging each of you all
said, I'm
down
challenging
here
each of you
to give a
all.
$20 seed.
So, see, yeah, he did.
And he said, I'm challenging each of you all
Right.
to give but it don't make a difference. It don't, you slipping, it don't make a difference. That is the man of God. He's challenging you to give.
Right.
He challenged you to wait.
say no.
That is the man of God. Wait. As a young saint, and see, I'm speaking from the perspective of a young saint. I don't know when you got saved, and I don't know if you remember when you got saved. I don't know what your perspective is when you got saved. I don't know if how.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
I'm sorry.
It don't matter.
No.
I was in church my whole life.
It does matter, because if you didn't mind being quote unquote challenged to give, and you automatically said, well, I ain't got it.
Right.
I got to do thus, and so, and I know I got to do that.
Right.
So I ain't got it. But see,
Right.
when I said, when the man of God said what he said, I would give my last.
But I don't know what.
I would give my last. And wait, hold on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would
You
give
got
my last.
about a minute and a half left. Go ahead.
But I would give my last. So when the man of God said, close the door. Now, first of all, you're going to be embarrassed to get up. As a young saint, I would have been embarrassed to get up.
I wouldn't.
See it, I wouldn't be in there now. Yeah, but you're not me. But see, I'm speaking from the perspective of a young saint, what I used to do.
I was young.
I'm speaking from the like I said, me. So, I would have been embarrassed to get up.
Okay.
People be embarrassed. Be embarrassed.
So you
People
believe?
be embarrassed
So you
to
believe
not give,
that?
Wait a minute. People be embarrassed to not give money. People be embarrassed to think
I get it.
that people to think they don't have it because they dressed like they got it.
Ron?
So it's a whole bunch of dynamics in there.
Wow.
He was fucking wrong, and I said fucking wrong.
All right. Hey, I appreciate your
Yes.
perspective, man.
All right.
All right. Thanks for your
Peace.
call. All right. That was Ron. Ron thinks he was wrong. I still fail to see what he did wrong. What he did wrong. I understand you don't like it, but he never said God told me to do this. He never said you can't leave. None of that kind of stuff. But I also want your thoughts on the Diddy story. Also, and I see Miss Queen Ebony J. At least she was in the house. She tried to call a few times, she said, and it went to voicemail. Yeah, I hadn't opened up the phone lines yet. But the phone lines are now open, 513-717-5464. If you missed it, if you're just tuning in, just to recap the stories that I discussed today, there's a new lawsuit against Sean Combs. And some bad stuff happened. Somebody is suing him. And I'll get more into it in a minute. But let me go back to the phone. Tyrone Hunter, how you doing?
What's up, bro? How you been?
Man, I've been good.
All right. So you want to know what he did wrong, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you.
All right.
I'm going to tell you what he did wrong.
Okay.
For one, as a pastor or deacon or preacher or whatever you are, when you come into the Lord's house,
Uh-huh.
you come in for worship
Right.
and to honor the Lord.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have you. If I gather a church, I got 10,000 congregation. We big. There's no way I'm gonna come in the church as a man of God
All right.
and ask my congregation, the ones in the back of me, that's $100 seat. No. And then the ones in the front that's out in the pulpit, I got 1,000 of you online. Give you don't, even if it's a challenge or whatever challenge you are trying to do, that's not how you go about things when you know the economy of what it is right now. It is terrible. So, there's no way I'm going to come and preach a sermon and ask my congregation, my main people that's in the back of me, for $100 because they sitting behind me in the seat. Let me tell you one thing. The thing is, people fail to realize, I'm going to tell you this,
Okay.
people don't really know the true Bible. Everybody don't have the true Bible. One thing about Jesus, the Son of God, he never preached inside any building. He did all his sermons walking around from Egypt to Jerusalem to wherever he went.
Ooh,
It
I'm
was
not
never
sure if that's
inside
true.
the building.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
And
that's true.
I'm going to tell you this. He always preached outside.
Hold on, I just want you to know, I'm not sure if that's true.
If you get the true Bible, every sermon he ever did was outside.
What are you calling the true Bible?
The Bible that everybody don't have, not the King James Version, because it was written by man.
What is the true Bible?
The true Bible is different. It tells what really happens with the Lord and what he did from the age of birth until he died on the cross. Everybody, the King James Version do not tell you exactly what happened.
So Tyrone, just so I'm clear, that portion,
the Ethiopian Bible is the true Bible.
Okay, can I get my question out?
Go ahead.
Okay, so that portion in the Bible where, remember when Jesus was a young, adolescent, and his parents had left, but he had stayed behind, and he was in the temple teaching. You're saying that did not happen?
He did teach in the temple. He did teach.
But I thought you said that. Hold on. But I thought you said he never did anything in the church.
Not for the church. Why? He taught his disciples, yes, his 12 men.
No. I'm talking about remember when they had left him and he spent that time teaching and he was teaching the people in the temple, and they were asking him questions and they were marveling because he was such a young man, or such a young boy, but he had such knowledge. You remember that story?
I remember that story.
That happened in the temple. That happened in the temple. But you're saying that never happened, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that.
But then you're retracting the idea that he never taught in the church. You're retracting that.
No, I'm not retaining that.
So he did teach in the church, but he didn't?
In that temple during that time when he had knocked all the little money off and everything, but he actually was not really teaching the word to them. And they was really outside of the temple.
Oh, even though it said they was in the temple, they was outside.
He went into the temple. He went into the temple one time. That's why they was trying to kill him, because
they wasn't trying to kill him when he was 13, bro. They was not trying to kill him.
What I'm trying to basically tell you, anything that you do in God's way is giving tithes. Anything you do. If I give a homeless person some money tomorrow, I'm paying my tithes. If I come and see you and bless you with $10,000, I'm paying my. That's what I'm basically trying to tell you.
Okay.
It's whatever, like this. When Cain and Abel, what did they offer? What did they give to God? When Cain and Abel, what did they offer to God? Was it money?
Hold on.
Was it money?
I think we stretching a little too far. What did Marvin Sapp? Well, you want to talk about what Cain and Abel gave? I'm asking in your mind.
I'm just saying, but what did Cain and Abel offer God?
In your mind, what did Marvin Sapp do wrong?
He what he did wrong was come at at the congregation about money when you can give anything that you want.
So
I don't have to necessarily give you money. I might have bread and water to give for tithe.
So Tyrone, first, that's hilarious. But secondly,
it's not hilarious.
It is.
I'm
telling
real.
you, if you come to my church talking about I'm giving my tithes, here's some bread and water, that is hilarious. But you're saying
give you a lamb.
You're saying
I can give you a lamb a chicken. I'm giving food. I'm bringing clothes.
In most churches, I don't think they accept chickens as tithes. In most churches, maybe in the South, you know what I'm saying? You got a farm and there's a little farm church or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? If you go to Southern Baptist and like, here's a chicken, they gonna be like, we can't do nothing with no chicken.
I'm trying to pay my tithes.
But what I'm trying to understand,
but
what I'm trying to understand though, Tyrone, is you're saying any church that accepts money is doing wrong?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
No.
So what are you saying?
Because everybody, no. What I'm saying is, asking for a certain amount is wrong.
How?
That's what I'm saying.
How? How is it wrong to? He didn't demand a certain amount. He said, I'm challenging you to give $20. That means, Tyrone, if you don't have $20, all you got is a chicken. Give your chicken. But I'm not saying you're a horrible person if you don't give it, but if you got $20, I'm challenging you to give $20.
But you don't put people on the spot like that. And then it was the way he did it. It's not. It's about the way you go about doing things. There's no way I'm gonna ask my congregation to give me $100 because they're sitting behind me. These $100 seats. That's what he said.
No, that was the preachers. Those were the other preachers.
We got it at a baseball game. I'm not watching the NBA. Why am I paying $100 to sit in my lower house?
Tyrone. Those were the other preachers behind him that he was talking to. People who he probably has some level of a relationship, so he know they got that money. And he's saying to them, you give $100. But I'm challenging the people out there each to give $20. I'm not demanding it. I'm not going to kill them if they don't give it, but I'm challenging you to give $20. What is wrong with that?
I just don't think he did it in the right way.
Okay.
I just felt like the way he came, and I was watching, and I was like, come on, Morgan, you got money, bro. You need 40 bands? What you need 40,000 for?
Well,
is it going to help?
Tyrone.
Is that 40,000 going to help is it 40,000 going to help the church members?
Tyrone.
Or anybody behind?
Tyrone. He explained that the reason that he did that is because it was a conference, and of course, a conference, they have expenses. So what he was doing was trying to raise money to help whoever put on the conference with their expenses, the expenses of putting on the conference. So it wasn't $40,000 to go in my pocket. It was $40,000 to give to the people who put on the conference.
I still feel like he went the wrong way about doing the 40,000, even if it is for a conference. Okay. It just didn't sound right how he said it.
Okay.
So I just don't think he went about it still the right way, because like I say, why
what in your mind, what would have been the right way?
These preachers. We got preachers that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars and is homeless. And you ask it, no.
Okay, so in your mind, what would have been the right way to challenge people to give $20?
I don't know. I really don't know about how I would have worded it to my own church or whatever. But I don't think I would have said it like that. It just didn't come out right. Or why would we all be angry of him saying it?
Because you're not used to the culture. That's why you're angry with him saying it. You're not used to the culture, and you're really not thinking it through. You're going based on emotions. I saw something and it made me mad. But you're not using your brain. You're using just emotion.
No, I'm using my brain.
All right, so then put it to work. What's the appropriate way to ask for? What's the appropriate way? What's the appropriate way to ask for money as a church?
it's a way of doing things.
I'm asking, what is the way? What's the appropriate way? That's what I'm asking you.
I mean, I really can't say.
If you don't know what the appropriate way is,
organization that. But I really can't say. But I really felt like he didn't say it in the right way.
All right.
Like I watched it 1,000 times, and I just felt like it was not right.
Okay.
It just didn't feel right at all.
Okay.
So
you have a right to that.
You know what I mean? It's not. I just don't have no words on how I would word it, but I just didn't feel like he worded it the right way. And you was there, so
no,
you said you ain't have $100 to give. You just kept shaking your head. That's fine. I respect that. I ain't saying if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. But there's no way during this hard time with all this wickedness going on, I'm asking everybody for $40,000, and it's just terrible out here.
Okay.
Like, I don't get it. How all these preachers got hundreds of millions of dollars and it's homeless everywhere. I don't get it.
Okay.
But hey, I don't support stuff like that. I support people who's, if I'm gonna get $40,000, it's going to the church. It's going back into the members. I'm having a potluck. I'm making a barbecue. I'm not.
Okay.
Like I say, we need to worry about what's going on home first. I don't care about no conference. Let's help what's going on here. Fix the church up. Let's get some new roles for the singers in the church. That's what I'm saying.
You can't really buy.
Put it where it needs to go.
But Tyrone,
if I'm paying $40,000, going where it needs to go, into the church, into the people.
Okay. Tyrone, I
ain't saying they supposed to be poor.
But Tyrone, I just want to.
I ain't saying they supposed to be. Yes, sir.
I just want to let you know that you can't buy new robes for the church with chickens. Just so you know.
No, I know that. Okay. But I'm just saying, like I say, it's always been that come as you are, right? You come as you are, right?
I don't.
You come as you are.
I'm not.
Whatever you bring, whatever ties that you bring to the church, you're doing it on a good blessing. If it's a chicken, a fur coat, $30 million, you're doing it. It don't, like I say, everybody gets screwed about church.
Okay.
Everybody is screwed about church. They always think you have to give money, but you don't have to give money to get the word of God. That's
true.
all I'm saying.
You don't.
You can do anything to help the pastor, help father. You can do anything. You see what I'm saying? I could just come in. I ain't got the 100. I ain't got the 100, Marvin. But I'm gonna do a big cookout. I'm gonna do a big cookout, feed everybody, help the homeless. That's what I'm gonna do.
No, you're not.
You see what I'm saying? There's other things you can do.
But
that's
you're
what
not.
I'm saying. I'm not hating on what he did.
But you know you're
now,
not.
Now, after you told me,
you're not.
You told me he was doing it to raise it for what you call it, and I respect that or whatever. But I'm just saying though, a lot of things about church, people need to understand. Church is for everybody. Okay. Even if you got a chicken or 25 cents, I should be able to come in there and worship and not have to worry about them locking the doors or close the doors where I'm scared to get up because I only got $4 in my pocket. And I'm scared that he going to point at me and be like, oh, Tyrone will. He poor. He ain't got no money. You see what I'm saying? It's about, because everybody don't have it. And everybody, you see what I'm saying? It's about being embarrassed, not having it, not being able to help the preacher, because you feel sorry, like, hey, I want to help the preacher. He want 100, but I only got 10. Because you got people that love God and love to go to church.
If you
know what I'm saying? That love to go to church, and you know, and they'll give their last, and won't have no lights on in the house, and that's not right. That's all I'm saying.
That's not.
Do when you can. That's all I'm saying. Do when you can.
Okay. All right, Tyrone.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
But you know, I love your show, bro. I love you. I just wanted to say a few things. And
did you want to say anything about the Diddy story?
Oh man, Diddy. We got Diddy messed up, bro.
Hold on. Did you hear the story that I talked about earlier in the show?
No, sir, I didn't.
Okay.
What happened?
Okay,
Tell me.
I'll recap off air.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Hey,
Diddy gotta do Diddy, bro. All I'm gonna say about us, as far as a black community, as far as us being rich people, we get all this money and we mess up. I just don't understand. From Bill Cosby to we got a whole bunch of people that's locked up right now. So like I say, I don't know what's up with all our black millionaires getting in trouble and going to jail. R. Kelly, everybody you get all the way up to that level and mess up, and the money go right back to them. So I don't get it, man. I just feel bad for him, bro. Like, Diddy made his own boat. All I'm gonna say is Diddy made his own boat. He should have took care of his people. There's no way I'm gonna have all that money and don't own half a city. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what these guys do nowadays. You get all this money and we don't own nothing. That's what I'm angry about. We don't own nothing. No banks, no hospitals. We don't own nothing. Well, JC a billionaire.
I bet he don't even own no chicken.
What he got? Hey, I buy all the chicken, bruh. If I had the money, I would own half of Cincinnati.
All right.
There's no way. Every time you will go downtown, you will see my bank. You'll see my hospital. My two hotels I own. My 10 properties I bought to put homeless people in, to get them back on their feet. It's about how you do things.
I agree.
It's about how you do things. And I'm doing it in God's, for God. Like I say, me, personally, I'm a giver. I was put here, God brought me here to give. That's what I'm here for. And to share my love and wisdom to everybody else. I'm only here to do God's work.
Yeah.
And that's to make sure my family have a legacy, because I don't hear nobody ever talking about building a legacy. I'm here just to leave my legacy for my grandkids and my kids and make sure my wife is good.
Well, that would be
that's all I'm
at
here
least two
for.
purposes there, not just
and
one.
To help my black family and black culture, because we one thing I'm gonna tell you, we are amazing. I love being black. We are amazing people. So smart. We done built so much. We got so many black inventors that don't get no recognition. We are beautiful, smart people that hate each other to the core. And it hurts my heart every day.
All right.
That's all I can say. I love it.
Tyrone,
I love us.
Tyrone, I appreciate your call.
Yeah, bro.
All right. Call
you
back.
already know, bro. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you. All right. That was Tyrone. Hold on. Let me reset the phones for somebody to call in. I heard the little crackling going on, and I don't want that to be the thing. So let me restart. All right. I was about to give the number to call in. Let's go to the phone. Twin.
Yeah, somebody better call Tyrone. He's not doing too good.
Tyrone doing all right.
He said the Ethiopian Bible, Egyptian Bible.
I think he said the Ethiopian Bible.
Oh, Ethiopian Bible. Do you read out the Ethiopian Bible, or have you studied?
I don't believe I've ever seen an Ethiopian Bible.
Oh. Let me get on that cupcake stuff first. Get that devil-filled junkie out the way. That dude was a cupcake all the way. From him talking and what he said and all that allegation. See, man, some people
hold
knew.
on, twin. Hold on. Before you go on, let me recap the story because a number of people weren't here at the beginning of the show. Diddy is being sued by a photographer. They apparently were on the set of a commercial, and I guess the photographer got Diddy's attention, and Diddy approached him and asked him to come to his trailer to discuss, career opportunities. They go to the trailer, and the photographer says, in the midst of discussing these career opportunities, Diddy unzipped his pants and pulled out his member and told dude, if you suck it right, then your career, I'll make your career take off. And then so dude sucked it, and when
Come on, man,
Diddy
you gotta say all that.
I've got to recap the story. When Diddy,
You ain't gotta say it.
Yes, I do. When Diddy had climaxed in his mouth, Diddy told him, hold it in there like a squirrel.
Oh, have mercy, man.
That's horrible, and it's not funny. Diddy told him, hold it like a squirrel. Apparently, he did not hold it like a squirrel, and He said he left. He felt bad having Diddy's semen in and on him, and he never heard from Diddy again. So now he is suing Diddy. All right, go ahead, Twin.
Man, you're doing the most, man.
I'm telling the story.
Man, dude was a cupcake, and he didn't get what he got asked for, promised for, whatever he did. Diddy said he was gonna do for him. It remind me of this, E-Man.
Uh-oh.
Look, check this out. It is for a fact, 100%. When R. Kelly told Sparkle, hey, come back and start, I'm going to do your album. Give me a minute. Let me do my album right quick and go on tour and I got you. She went over there. He told her not to go over there to some other group or their record label. He said, don't go. They're going to mess it up. She said, I got this. He said, okay. He said, give me a chance. And so she went over there anyway, backdoored her, and she come back. So you go, no, you went over there when I told. Okay, then, nigga, you want to play like this? I'm gonna bring all allegations against you. You fucked my niece, which was true. He pissed on and all that. If y'all saw the video back in 98, I want to say 97. He pissed on her all over the video.
Oh my God.
Okay, you said that gay shit. I'm talking about the real fact.
Well,
about
first,
this.
you don't know any
But
of this stuff as a fact. It's what you heard and what you believe.
Man, you seen the video? That's him pissing all on old girl. And everything. He even said about it what happened.
No, he didn't. He ain't never said that that's what happened. He's denied it the entire time.
Hold on, player. R. Kelly spoke about what Sparkle did. He spoke about that, man. Come on. He spoke about what she lied in the allegations. That's why
Why
they
are we
came
talking
with
about R. Kelly and Sparkle?
Because I'm saying if you don't do if they don't do your favor what you want and stuff, this how they go railroad your ass, just like they did doing Diddy now. Man, everybody, the industry already knew what was going on, Emanuel. Them top executives and all that, just like what's his name, Conan Carr, whatever it is, that Jewish dude. He said, hey, you can put a stop to this beef in West Coast, East Coast, and all this drill music. Hey, my baby's got to eat. That mean he don't give a fuck about you niggas. Keep rapping about y'all. Shoot 'em up, bang, bang. Come on, Emanuel. They been knowing about this.
Okay, so what are you trying to say?
They been knowing about the industry and all that. Dude talking about P. Diddy did. You knew what the fuck P. Diddy was about. You knew what had
Who
Diddy
knew?
get out.
Wait, who knew what Diddy was about?
That photographer.
How
that
would he
cameraman.
know? How did he know? He's just a photographer on the set of a commercial. How do he know what Diddy all about?
Listen here, player. When you from that city, or people know your name, ring like say for instance.
How do you know he was from whatever city that he was in?
If you just listen, your mouth. If you just listen.
But you just saying stuff.
I'm not saying nothing, man. Like say for instance, your uncle. Okay, who is Lincoln Ware?
That's not my uncle.
Okay, man, just listen. Damn.
You saying stuff like that's not my uncle.
Okay. Oh God. Okay, man. Okay, say Lincoln Ware, big name here.
Okay.
I say, who's this Lincoln Ware guy? So I check him out. I'm only been here for like a month or two, a year. So I'm check him out. Oh, I know Lincoln. He the radio guy. I know Emanuel. How you know Emanuel? He used to be with the radio and everything. He was the backup builder board man. Do the board walking, door keep. Answer the phone. See, your name carry weight. So they know what you about and what you do.
No, hold on. Hold on, twin. Hold on.
If your name carry weight, they know in that city what you do.
Twin.
So if they been around you partying and all that, just like you, how do you know that man makes $100,000?
We trying to have a conversation.
No,
you just keep
this
going.
is a conversation.
You just keep going. Can we have a conversation? Twin,
go ahead, man.
If you don't know, you can know Lincoln, right? Or have heard the name Lincoln Ware. And then you show up to a commercial set and they've got Lincoln Ware as the spokesperson. That don't mean you know Lincoln's sexual habits and proclivities. You don't know whether Lincoln abused women or anything or abused men. All you know is this guy is a local celebrity. That just because he's a local celebrity don't give you no insight into his sexual life.
Let me tell you something, player. Let me tell you something. as twin, as I do my resume, and when I was doing my transactions in the drug world, I did a resume on every nigga I knew about. You think I'm just gonna pop up and give you my $100,000, $50,000, something like that, nigga? Hell no, the fuck is you? I'm doing the rest. How you know him, cuz? Where you know him, folks? Where you know him from?
He didn't know him. He was a photographer on a commercial set.
That's why it's so dumb and stuff. You went in there and sucked his nuts off, nigga, because you didn't do a resume on the nigga. You just ain't gonna pop up in no motherfucking scene unless you want to just get put on. That's what they doing in the industry. Hey, you want to make the million? Hey, bend over. It's rituals behind this shit, what they was doing. Oh. You want to get on, make them album, nigga, bend over. Hey, go suck that fat cow. It's rituals behind this, man. You want to make the millions? Hey, what you want to do?
And that's what he did. He
do
said,
a little strange for a piece of change, and he didn't get his favor back. He didn't get his promise. Did you say, hold on, I got you?
So
you said you got me 2022.
Twin.
You got me 22.
Twin.
Hey, I'm putting an allegation on you. I suck your done.
Twin.
Come on, man.
Twin.
You knew what the fuck he was about.
Twin.
What, man?
Was Diddy wrong or was the photographer wrong in the situation?
That nigga gay.
Okay, if you were sitting on a jury and this case came before you, would you give some money to the photographer?
No, because you knew what the fuck Diddy about. No, you participated in
what Diddy was about at the time. He knew Diddy could make his career.
Diddy. He knew what Diddy about. Everybody know Diddy.
No,
and what he's
I
about.
didn't know Diddy was doing that stuff until the stories came out.
Because you don't do a research on this shit. You want to follow that Trump shit and all that.
Look,
you don't watch. You watch rap.
God. Why would I do research on Diddy if P&G calls me and says, we got a commercial and Diddy's going to be in it, but we want you to do location sound. I'm going to show up with my boom and my sound equipment prepared to record sound. No, I'm not doing a whole workup on everybody that's going to be in the damn commercial.
I check my surroundings. I don't care what you say or anybody. I check my surroundings. That's me personally. The other stuff and all that, I check.
So you know everything about everybody that you work with.
If I'd want to do a background on a rep, man, how this nigga is?
Why would you be doing a background? Just reasonably speaking. Twin, if I hire you tomorrow, I'm doing a photo shoot downtown.
I'm not gonna come.
Hold on.
I'm not gonna come.
Yes, you would if you wanted to
I'm not. No,
okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
All right, you're right.
It depends on situation, man. I'm not gonna come.
You don't know the situation yet. I haven't even finished getting it out.
You damn right. It depends on the situation. I'm like, man, is this legit or that's for clout? Which one? Not just go get you to build your clout base up. Come on, man. I'm gonna do a resume. No. Next thing you know, you go edit and shit. Now Twin riding around naked on a horse.
What you saying don't make sense.
Man, you got me fucked up, dude. You got me fucked up about the situation. See, you don't know life. You go off that elements of the bullshit you spilled out every day.
What
you don't know life, man.
Does not make sense.
At the end, the moral to the story is that dude gay, and he knew about Diddy. We knew about Diddy years ago, and they think this ain't nothing new, nigga. Diddy's a party head. He like the baby oil and fucking he's bisexual. At the end of the day, this ain't nothing new. So you ain't get that check. You got them and suck them off and everything. Now you mad, so go ahead and suck somebody else off. Shit.
All right.
See,
now,
you get a check.
Move on to the Marvin Sapp thing.
I know. This last issue. Marvin Sapp. He not wrong, E-Man. He not wrong at all.
Okay.
Closing them doors and stuff like Joe Clark, he not wrong. Or whatever. Because it's out of respect. See, I never grew up in a Baptist church. I grew up in Apostolic in Church of God in Christ. I never grew up in, Baptist.
Right.
It was straight holiness, man, with the sanctified skirts and everything else.
Okay.
And always a standard, man. Uh-huh. When they praying to take offering, walking and talking, none of that. And when they doing prayer, no talking and getting up and all that. Unless it's a mercy type situation. Was he wrong for doing what he said? People look at it today and all that with, probably this and, Trump this, and back then it was COVID and all that. I ain't got it and all that. But I'm a giver, man. I give to the homeless, whoever. And I believe in tithing because I tithe all the time. When I'm doing my thing and, other jobs, I was still getting 10%. It's one point in time, my mama didn't even accept my money because she said it was drug money. And I did it anyway. I put it in that Bible. Slid it in that purse. Take it anyway. Because, I'm going to get my blessings regardless. Down here, Emanuel, 2012.
2012.
I put what's that guy is it Roselawn Bond here? Roselawn. Preacher man over there, the son. Jesus, what's his name?
It don't matter.
Lynchy.
Okay.
Lynch.
Lynch.
Yeah, Lynch.
Okay.
Lynch. Yeah. Okay. He had a church downtown, right? Before he moved to Roselawn. It was a church downtown.
All right.
It's not too far from that Finley Market thing.
Okay.
Okay. I put in an $800 check, right? I mean, 800 cash. Oh, girl from here, one of my buddies I still talk. She's like, you lost your mind too. I said, for what? I said, here, you take the $100 and I'm put this in here. So I put $700 some in there. I gave her $100 after 800 something. You did. So I put it in there. She said, why you putting all this? Ain't no way. I said, God go bless. I kid you not, my grandma. Man, I kid you not, E-Man. I got a check, unexpected check for $1632. $1632 from the government. I didn't know where it was for, and I ain't call the government and say, hey, y'all made a mistake. I said, and I told her, I said, you see there, when you bless the congregation, when you bless the man of God, I said, look at this.
Hold on. How did
give me that.
You went back to the church after you got the check to tell her that you got the check?
No. We co-workers.
Oh, okay.
And I said, here, come here.
So she went to church with you, and she saw you.
Yeah, I said, you want to go to, I want to, because I seen him on the, I seen him somewhere.
Okay, you seen
And
him, and you
visit
invited
his
her
church.
to church with you. And
I said, let's go to Damon Lynch Church
Right.
downtown.
And you made a production of you putting in a bundle of money.
No, I put it in there because I had got some money and then I put it in there, and she thought I was crazy. She said, you could have gave me that. I could have went shopping. And I said, no, man, here, take the $100. So we, go back and forth in church. I kid you not, man. Hey, so I got an unexpected check within a month or two, or a couple of weeks. And I told her about it. I said, see that? And Emmanuel, ain't nothing wrong in giving, man. Regardless if that pastor got a big mansion, you got a little mansion, he got a Cadillac, BMW, whatever, okay, God bless him with that. But, you got every man held accountable for their own act. You got to get accountability to God, man.
Yes.
For whether you whether you doing wrong to whatever, sowing a good seed or whatever.
Where were you working when this happened?
2000. I was at Kroger's, I think, and I was at no. Was I at Kroger's? Yeah, I was at Kroger's, and then I was at Right, this transportation, school transportation.
So you was paid.
Yeah. Huh?
So you was paid.
Man, yeah, man. I told you, when I got down here, man, when I got out the journey, man, I got blessed, man. My whole thing, man. I'm gonna tell you this, man.
$8,000 just 1 week. You just got paid $8,000.
No, the twin always been a saver, man. Twin always saved his money and everything else. But Emmanuel, check this out, man. Ever since, when I got out the joint, man, I want to go back to that street life because I got a job when I got out, but it was slow money for me. I'm used to making $3,000-$4,000 a week. Off rip, man.
You made $8,000 that week.
Man, man, come on. This $400-$500 wasn't getting me, man. So either I looked at it and I flipped. I'm like, damn, my twin locked up. I just got locked up, just got out. Man, I'm making this money real quick and I got a job even though it ain't kick. Man, I chose and then I thought about what my mama said, twin, your blessing in Cincinnati. I say, man, hell with this street life. I'm going to Cincinnati. Man, I kid you not, my mom. I've been blessed ever since. I ain't looked at a damn lock 'em up and none of that.
That's good.
That day of my life, no more, man. Because I knew about it, man. Waking up to that white man, child time and all that. Yeah, looking at niggas and all that every day. No, man. I got some kids to look out for. I got some women to go take care when I get out of here.
Well,
man, looking at this crazy. And people, I like, what's this? Yo, nice bid. It's my nice bid, fam. Man, damn, folks, you been in here 9 times? So I can't do this, man.
So, twin, the bottom line is you don't see anything wrong with what Marvin said.
No, ain't nothing wrong with blessing. God could take care of you. You go get your blessing. Hey, man, look at this, man. You ain't got to get, just because you put money in there in the church, it don't have to be a blessing to get money back. Emmanuel, God can bless you with your health. He can
That's
bless
right.
with your people health,
Yes.
your business, your mentally, filthy, educate, whatever you're going through, man. It ain't always got to be about money. He can bless your son who's been doing 30 years to get out and stuff. He only did 10, but the judge gave him 30. It's a blessing. God done let him out. That can be a blessing. And it ain't always got to be about money, Emmanuel. But God go bless you regardless of the situation. People look at it as money, money, money. No, it ain't like that, player.
Right. All right.
But, you know, I hate to testify, but, you know, God's been good to me, man, since I've been in Cincinnati. And I don't plan on leaving Cincinnati because, hey, this is my blessing there.
All right. Hey, I appreciate your call, man.
I'm sorry for preaching, man.
That's
it
all
was
right.
a good
Don't be sorry.
segment, the last one and everything. But, you know, you be safe, man. It was a beautiful day.
You do the same. Be safe.
I'm about to go, you know, tend to my homie, my little peeps.
All right.
And they check on them. But you be safe. You people in the chat, you too, man.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Even though you go hate, you can still go hate.
I never do. All right.
All right.
All right. That was Twin. Hold on. Brian asked a question. I'm glad you asked the question. I hate that it sounds like that. Hold on a second, Blade. Brian asked the question. So if the photographer was a heterosexual woman, would Diddy still be okay in some of your eyes? Because some of y'all sound like you saying because he's gay that he clearly wants to suck every D in sight. That's dumb as hell. I'm straight and I'm not trying to get with every woman. Make it make sense. Your own prejudices are clouding your judgment, in my opinion. Let me tell you this, Brian. And this is just me. If there was a heterosexual woman, my take on it would be the same. That heterosexual woman, when Diddy unzipped his pants and said, if you suck it right, then I'll make your photography career take off. She got options. She can leave or she can stay and suck D. If she choose to stay and suck D, then that's a choice that she made. Now, if you can show me where he threatened you, you got something. If you can show me where the doors was blocked, you got something. But if the only thing was, if you suck my D right, I'll make your career take off, you weighed the options. Do I want to suck his D? Can I suck it right? Am I cool with my career now? Do I want my career to really take off? What do I want to do? I really want my career to take off, so I'm going to suck the D the best I can. You get nothing. You made that decision. Life is about options. And the option that you chose, and it just because your career didn't take off and, you know, whatever, you made a decision. So if I'm on that jury and you're a heterosexual woman, a homosexual woman, a heterosexual male, a homosexual male, a trans, whatever, given those same set of circumstances, now maybe if there's something more to the story, but based on what I've seen and heard so far, it was an offer and you made one option. You don't get paid because the decision that you made. So that's my take on it. Either way it go. Blade.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Blade, it's going all right. How's it going with you?
Going pretty well, buddy. Good show. Good topic. Hey, man. How many furs can I buy Cincinnati with?
How many what?
How many fur? I got a couple fur coats. Think I can buy Cincinnati with a couple fur coats?
I don't think so.
I'm kind of confused on the last guy. He said, now, he was talking about the Ethiopian Bible. I bet he never read that Bible because it's very scarce, and then Bible costs like $2,000 or $3,000.
And he say he read it. I'll take his word for it.
Do you think he brought that Ethiopian Bible with a couple furs?
Some chickens, you know. Yeah.
Or some chickens or some goats. And he said Jesus just hung out in front of the temple and never went in. Okay. But everybody was talking about Jesus. That's strange. That's really weird. The interpretations that we got of the Bible. And but make a long story short, I mean, I think a person can do anything they want to do in their church. He done nothing wrong. in that church. You know, he told them to close the doors and to be quiet. And why would you have the doors open if you're trying to raise $40,000? I just don't understand these young cats the way they think. And what's bad about it, I think Tyrone really hates authority and hates church.
Okay.
This new generation think everything's gonna flow their way. They got a lot of things. They got reality's gonna hit them, man, because they think they can come on site and just rearrange and do any damn thing they want. It don't work like that, man. There's rules and regulations to these things. You cannot change something because you think it's wrong in your eyes. But to each his own. But that Diddy thing, man. You kind of explained it. Your boy, he thought he was gonna get something because what gay, straight, or whatever, what man really gonna do that if they don't think they gonna get something out of it? I mean, sorry that happened to him, but really, psychologically, he consented.
He did.
Because he thought he was gonna get something at the end,
Mm-hmm.
but he got something at the end. It was all in his mouth.
That's terrible.
Hey, man, but it's your topic, man. But I gotta say, these things that we're talking about, because that Marvin Sapp thing, that was like almost 2 years ago, and then you said the Diddy thing, that was what, in 22, 24?
I think it was 20, 22, 23, something like that, yeah.
Hey, and what's bad about that, you said that happened 22, 23. Diddy his power fell off a long time ago, so Diddy been out of the power thing for a minute. So your boy, Diddy really kind of played him. Diddy don't got no Diddy power fell off in the 90s.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Diddy had a lot of stuff going on, and he was still, I think, technically a billionaire. Not to mention he's Diddy. And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
If you move in a space, you're a photographer. That means you take pictures, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no. If you get with the right person who's willing to pay you, a whole lot of money, or set you up with the right person who's willing to pay a whole lot of money for a photographer, it's not like you have to be you just have to be connected. So if I got,
just trying to say,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
If I got a camera and I take pictures and Diddy say, I can put you on, Diddy might be able to hook me up. Next thing I know, I'm taking pictures for the cover of Vogue magazine, making, I don't know how much, hundreds of thousands of dollars per photo shoot. He don't have to have no great power, just some influence in the right way. And I have to look at it and say, how badly do I want to be taking pictures, getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars per photo shoot versus showing up on commercial sets for, $120. So I could see where the temptation would be there, and where Diddy's lack of, maybe lack of power in the music business doesn't go away, because he still had the TV thing going on. He had his own network. He still had the record label. Artists need photo shoots and stuff all the time. And again, if you making $10,000 for a photo shoot because you on Bad Boy staff and you shooting, or
but
anywhere in the
when
industry.
the last time did he cut a record?
But that's what I'm saying. You don't have to cut a record to be in a powerful position in the industry.
Yeah, I know. I know he got money and all that, but in the industry, did he wasn't in the circles. I mean, all his reputation from the like you said, that network and the wine and all that. It wasn't dealing with the industry. Wasn't nobody? Cause like 50 Cent said, Diddy didn't have the ear no more.
He might not have. Again, there's a whole lot more money to be made behind the scenes than in front of the camera or behind the mic. There's a whole lot more money made behind the scenes. So the photographer might make more money than the actual artist. So there's a lot of ways to make money, and I'm sure he still had a lot of influence in the many industries that he was attached to.
We can agree or disagree, but good show, good topic, man. But one more, I got a little something for Tyrone. Next time he calls, tell him to put some bass in his voice, man. Peace out.
All right, that's Blade. Blade, I appreciate your call. All right, hold on a second. I saw Brian. Brian responded. He said, respect for consistency. The threat was using your power over someone trying to get gainfully employed. We can agree to disagree. See, and that's where I'm not sure that that's what happened. I get that that's kind of what happened, but not necessarily. You got me if Diddy says, if you don't suck it, I'ma ruin your career. Diddy wrong. No ifs, ands, or buts. Diddy's intimidating that man and, threatening to ruin his career. That wasn't what he said. Diddy said, I can make your career blow up. I can make your career bigger. That's not, I'm going to ruin your career if you don't do this. That's this, do this. And this is an opportunity to take your career to the next level. You can say, no, I will, continue to work hard and take my career to the next level. I'm not going to do that as a shortcut to take my career to the next level. And to me, those are different things. So that's why I see it as, yeah, Diddy grimy, if this is a true story. Diddy grimy for that. But there wasn't no threat to that man. He said, here's a shortcut. Do you want the shortcut? If you want the shortcut, you got to do some grimy stuff. He said, I'll do the grimy stuff because I want the shortcut. I don't perceive that as a threat. Now, again, unless there's something else in there where Diddy said it, if you don't do it, you would never take another picture. All right, now you got something. So that, I see that as a difference. CK.
Hey, man, I don't believe it by any stretch of the imagination, Livingston. I think it's a complete lie. I think it's made up. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I believe that the man is trying a money grab. This is what they call the money grab, Livingston. These people are trying to get money from a Diddy Combs. Combs is under heat water right now, and the heat water has gotten people making up these preposterous stories. Preposterous stories, sir.
I don't know that it's preposterous. You're saying you don't believe that the thing happened?
Not at all. Not at all, sir. That sounds preposterous. You telling me a grown man asked you to suck his pee-pee and you did it? Ew! You're nasty, man. I don't believe Diddy would even be involved in those type of activities. Livingston, not at all.
Well, you also don't believe Bill Cosby did what he did, so.
Exactly, sir. You think Diddy would put his penis in another man's mouth? Yes. Are you serious?
Yes, I believe that. I've heard, I'm telling you, I've heard way too many stories and, people with different stuff to back it up. Yes, I believe that.
Hell no. No way in hell. Listen, that shit.
Wait, how man, do you,
now when I tell you, okay, when I tell you,
CK,
okay, go ahead.
How do you know that he wouldn't?
Exactly. I don't. You're right. And how do you know that Oprah Winfrey didn't sit on my face last night? I can say any motherfucking thing. That's the point.
Oh my God.
But you gonna know if I say some dumb shit like Oprah Winfrey, she just sat on my face last night while we was watching Netflix. You know, I'm like, man, what up? Next caller. Man, I ain't believing that bullshit you talking, man. That shit don't even sound right. It would sound right that Oprah Winfrey sat on my face last night.
Well, only in that there's not a good chance that you have access to Oprah Winfrey. But if you said to me, Emanuel, Oprah was shooting a video here and I was there supplying the chicken, and you can prove that you were supplying the chicken to Oprah's video shoot and that you had access to Oprah, and then you made that claim, I would have to consider that it might be true.
Yeah, but it could be, but the likeliness of it being true, hell effing no, man. Yes, that's why they say it. We say things because it can be true, but people know Diddy ain't putting his damn penis in your mouth.
Well,
if he did that, you would have proof.
How
it
would
would
you
be
have
undoubtedly proof.
How? How would you have proof?
The same way I got proof of Oprah sitting on my face last night.
That
the
doesn't
same
make
exact
sense.
way, sir.
What you saying don't make sense now.
Right, it don't. I'm just talking. He just talking.
You are
so,
just talking.
So when you got to get money, hold on. It's about money. So the only way to get money, you can't say, "Oh, he treated me bad." No, this motherfucker made me stick his dick in my mouth. That's what he said. He's going extreme. It's about a money grab, and y'all dumb motherfuckers believe in it.
Well, you don't believe it.
If you going for money, you're gonna say anything.
Okay, you don't believe it. You got a right to not believe it.
It don't sound right. I'm just saying, dude.
You have a right to not believe it.
I'm saying, but you said you believe he gets down like that. This is the activities he does.
I believe it's quite possible. Yes.
I got you. Yeah. I mean, woo. I mean, I'm just saying them people got their own organization. The people that does that, they already good. They already good. They don't have to be forced to do that. They just engage. They engage in those gay activities. Like you said, he didn't make them do nothing. You participated in the act. So why is you telling people this? Because you're trying to get money. If it was just as innocent as you said and it just happened, you wouldn't have to tell anyone. Mr. Livingston?
What do you mean?
You wouldn't have to tell a soul.
He's saying that he felt intimidated to do it. And maybe his point is, when it happened, I felt intimidated, but because of who he was and the power that he had, I didn't believe that anyone would believe me or take me serious in that, so I didn't say anything. But now that people are beginning to see the type of person that he is and the type of things that he does, I feel more comfortable coming out, telling my story, and asking to be compensated because of the position that he put me in. That's
and this
reasonable.
is how we get the numbers escalating. This is how we get hundreds of thousands of people making accusations because of what you just described. Now people believe it, so now everybody gonna lie. All you got to do is get one person to believe the lie, then everybody start lying, and everybody start believing.
So, dude, wait.
That's what we got.
Hold on. So was Cassie lying too?
Yeah.
Even though you saw the video, she lied. She made that video herself. She smacked herself around in that hotel. She stomped on herself.
No, I'm talking about the allegation. I'm talking about the sexual trafficking she's lying about. She participated in that. Not the battery. The battery is self-explanatory, but that's not the case. The case is sex trafficking.
But what I'm saying is, she made the accusations of the trafficking in conjunction with the battery. And he said none of those accusations were true. So if we find out that one part of the accusation was true, it lends more credibility to the fact that maybe the other accusations could be true.
Yeah, but excellent point. We've seen proof. We have yet to see one shred of evidence of sexual deviancy from this gentleman. Not one, but we have seen domestic violence, sir. That's my point,
CK, up until we saw the video, we hadn't seen any evidence of battery either.
Right.
And that was caught in a hotel lobby. No one has accused him of sexually abusing them in the hotel lobby. If
Okay.
he gonna make sure he don't do that stuff in front of the cameras.
Right. Yeah, man. I'm just thinking. Once you start making the gay allegations, that's when you lose me there, Livingston. I could believe the domestic violence. I could believe, but when these men start making allegations, straight up liars. They're freaking liars.
All right.
They're not telling the truth, Livingston.
All right.
Thank you, sir. God bless the family.
All right. Have a good one. All right. That was CK. Now let me close this down again. I think he does that to the system. Hold on. Reset the phone system. 513-717-KING. That's 513-717-5464. That's the number to get on board. All right. So again, I didn't see anything wrong with what Marvin Sapp did. Oh, let me address this. Well, the people might be embarrassed. Oh, people might be embarrassed. I saw Shahira saying it too. People might be embarrassed. That's your fault then. That's your fault if you embarrassed. See, people need to get up off of this. I care so much about what other people think about me that I'm going to be... That your parents didn't raise you right if you just sitting around doing whatever everybody say do because you don't want to be embarrassed. He said, give $20, but I don't have $20. But if I don't give $20, then I'm going to be embarrassed because I'm going to look like I don't have $20 to give. You don't have $20 to give. Deal with it. But people going to think, F what people think. My mama used to say that. I don't think that she used to say F. No, she probably did. F what people think. From the time I was a kid. Get in trouble. Well, I did it because people was going to think. F what people think. If you still, as a grown person, I got to give $100 because if I don't give $100, I'm going to look like I can't give $100. You deserve to get taken for all your money. If you can't afford to give $100, don't give $100 and don't give a damn about what nobody think about it. And you can't blame Shahira, the man of God, for your lack of maturity. It's not his fault. So now they're not even allowed to have offering no more in church now. Wait, nobody said they're not allowed to have offering. No, if they have offering and people get up and give money, if you ain't got it, you might not get up and give money, and that might be embarrassing. So now you're giving money that you don't have to give. You need to man up or woman up. I ain't got it. And I don't care what nobody think. It's the church's fault. They made me give money. No, they didn't. They asked for money. You could say, I don't have it. I'm so embarrassed. People gonna think. Tell you, my mama would say F what people think. Y'all mama didn't tell y'all that? Fame.
Hey, how you doing?
Fame, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pleasant, per usual. Fame Rothstein, a.k.a. Beowulf. I think, what's the preacher's name?
Marvin Sapp.
Yeah, I think he's a complete asshole.
Why?
That was borderline extortion and kidnapping.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because if one person says, yeah, I couldn't leave because the doors was locked and I was intimidating,
Has anyone said that?
I don't know. I don't follow the story.
No one said that.
Oh well, I just think being a preacher, there's a more modicum of righteousness and gravitas.
Okay, so
in his delivery that he lacked.
So, Fame, what did he do, in your opinion? And it's just opinion. There's no wrong answer because it's your opinion. What did he do wrong? Or is it, you're saying it's wrong to close doors in a church? Are you saying it's wrong to challenge people to give $20? Are you saying it's wrong to say,
threatening.
Hush?
That was threatening.
So you're saying
the closing the doors was threatening, and the way he was kind of the way he said close the doors.
Okay.
That was kind of threatening.
Interesting.
And menacing, and then the way just his whole delivery was kind of threatening and kind of indignant. It's like it just lacked what you would expect out of a reasonable man of God. He was almost shaming them. Y'all know damn well y'all got $20. 20. There's 1,000 people on the broadcast. There's 1,000 people in person. Y'all can give $20. Didn't even say what it was for. Just give $20. Because a nigga needs to hold something.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. If you're in a place and they say, "Hey, close the doors," does that automatically mean you're not allowed to leave?
Yes and no. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean you're not allowed. You're not allowed to leave, but it's letting you know that there's about to be some repercussions.
Okay. So anytime you in a spot and they close the doors, you automatically think, if I leave, there's going to be repercussions.
This has become a threatening situation.
Interesting. Because I know when I go to plays down at the music hall and the play's about to start, the first thing that they do, they close the doors. And I never feel like, I can't leave or there are going to be repercussions. It's interesting
because you don't want the noise in the hallway during the play going on. Everybody expects that to be closed.
He didn't want all the noise and walking while he's taking up the offering, but you feel like...
Did he say that? Did he say that?
They don't say it. They don't say it at music hall
close
either.
The door. No, hold on. Did he say that? Yes or no?
No, just like they don't say it at music hall.
Then let's not assume that.
They don't say that at music hall, do they?
I haven't been to music hall.
You've never been to music hall?
Years. I said I haven't been there in 30, 40 years.
When you were there and they closed the doors, did they say why they were closing the doors?
No, everybody know why the door is being closed.
Exactly. Everybody knew there. Everybody there knew why the door was being closed.
Again, they don't tell you to close the door. It's just you know the doors are about to close because the lights go out, and then they're closing the door. And they know why. But for a preacher being indignant and aggressive as he were during his diatribe, that would be kind of threatening.
Y'all some insecure people.
For a person of ordinary firmness.
Y'all some insecure people, because the people who were there were probably of ordinary firmness, and I hadn't heard anybody complain that they were held hostage. Y'all some I was about to say something. Y'all are some fragile people.
No, I'm just a reasonable person. Like, who the hell is this guy talking to me like this, telling me he about to close the door?
Yeah, that's fragile.
Close the door. He sounded like damn near Bishop Whitehead. Close the door. He didn't say white. Close the door. Close the door. Y'all got $20. It's 1,000 of y'all here. Y'all got $20 each.
And if you didn't have $20, if you were there and you didn't have $20, what would you do?
I'm chilling.
Right.
Or I'm leaving. But I realize if I try to leave, there's gonna be some confrontation involved.
You fragile. I'm telling you, fragile.
I just realized, man, I don't deserve that.
You do.
Getting called that. No. I don't. I'm just a reasonable person. I'm not about to sit here.
That's not reasonable. That's fragile.
You got delusions of grandeur. You ain't gonna do shit. You don't sit there and behave like the good boy you are.
What?
You're not going nowhere.
What?
You
No,
gonna sit there and
that's
behave.
fragile. Nobody said that.
No.
Hold on, let me ask you this.
The preacher,
You,
the leader
hold on.
told.
Have you ever
said, "Shut
seen the
door."
movie? Have you ever seen the movie Coming to America?
Yeah.
And you remember the scene where Sexual Chocolate was there and they performed. You remember that scene?
Yeah.
And you remember after Sexual Chocolate performed, the girl came up and they took up an offering?
Yes.
And you remember she said, you know, give what you can. Now, we appreciate the kind of money that jingles, but we more appreciate the kind that folds or something like that. You remember that?
Yeah.
Was she intimidating those people? Because she was making the suggestion, we don't want no change, we want dollar bills. Was she, if you were in that audience, you would have been like, she trying to take all my money. Oh, she trying to take all my money. You would have been, you know, fragile.
No, because she let us know what the money was being used for. The help center.
So that's the difference, is if he would have said, I'm taking up this money to help cover the cost of the conference, but did everything else the same way, it would have been fine.
No, I still would have thought he was a little
Exactly.
indignant.
So don't try to use that as a bailout. It's
not a bailout. It's just like, this is supposed to be a
for-
church guy, and he's being this much of an asshole. I ain't giving him nothing. But his goons just locked the door. You know, I got my wife and kids here. I don't really feel like rumbling if I ain't got to. But
Then don't.
I ain't giving him shit because I don't like his attitude.
Then don't. I don't think anybody got beat. From that conference, nobody got beat because they didn't give money.
I still think the preacher was way in over his skis, and he was too indignant, too aggressive, you know, just too threatening. That's not his delivery was all jacked up. That's where I'm at.
Okay, so you didn't like his delivery. That's what you're saying.
No.
Okay.
No. He was like light Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? He was very aggressive. Like, damn, bro, I ain't know, Christians really be, shaming people like that. What's your problem?
He didn't shame anyone. He challenged people to give.
He just said, I need $40,000.
Y'all idea of shaming is weird to me. If I challenge a big group of people to give $20 and people either give it or they don't, and whether they give it or they don't, he didn't say, you didn't give $20. That would be shaming. The people who came up, the people who didn't, and that was it. But saying, I challenge everybody to give $20, in your mind, that is shaming people?
He sounded high rehearsed and hurried.
That's not answering my question. Saying, I challenge everybody to give $20, in your mind, that's shaming people.
Again, he sounded hurried, high, and whatever else I said, I forgot.
So you don't want to answer the question.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I told you how he said it, and that's the answer to your question.
No, you didn't want to answer the question, so you didn't answer the question, and that's fine. You don't have to answer the question.
You use different techniques to shame people. That's what he was doing.
Okay.
Using that kind of figurative language, suggestive language.
Okay.
Those types of things he was doing. It was really slick little tone he gave.
Okay.
But it was like you could tell he's threatened by somebody.
That's nonsense.
So his delivery was terrible. As a man of God, he need to just be a gentleman about it and retire.
Y'all are fragile.
Okay, I'll be that. But I ain't as fragile as a dude who had the issue with Diddy. Diddy came through like the Godfather said, I'm going to put his names on the contract or put my on the contract. I digress. Hey, it's been real, folks. I had fun. We'll try this again some other day.
All
but
right.
Until then, you can treat the Manuel show like Old Spice with a wolf on your back. Ow!
Fame, I appreciate your call. 51371. Oh, he accidentally. Fame, he keep calling. All right, I'm looking at the chat. and I see where people want to start calling me names. I'm going to warn you. If you want to start calling names, I can call names as good as the best of them. I don't know that you want to do that. We can disagree and just disagree. But if I'm an idiot and all of that kind of stuff, I got names that I can call too. I don't know that we want to do that. We can just disagree. But if we want to call names, just let me know and I'll join in. I'm more than comfortable doing it. Trust me. So if we want to just disagree, we can. If we want to call names, just put one more in there and we can go. I don't mind. Tanika.
Hey, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Interesting conversations today, or topics, I should say. Well, I won't touch the Diddy thing because I think, like, you're a grown man, and I guess I am touching the Diddy thing. You're a whole grown man, and like you said, you could have said no. Now, like, if he was coerced or if he had a gun to his head, then okay. But, okay, and that's all I got to say on that. As far as the church thing, my whole life, I feel like I was born on the church pew, and I grew up in an apostolic church. So stuff like this was very normal for me, other than the close the door thing, and I'll get back to that in a second. What changed things for me is, one, when I moved from Cincinnati and moved down to a little town called Gallatin, Tennessee, and the church I went to there, I was literally in culture shock when they didn't do offerings like that. Somebody went up there, the deacon, whoever went up there, and it was offering time. They sang a song, people went around, and that was it. And I was like, wait, nobody is gonna be begging. The preacher isn't begging. The preacher ain't saying you got another $1. The preacher ain't using scare tactics or saying you're gonna be cursed if you don't give. And I say that because the church I grew up in, every single Sunday, if you're familiar with Micah, the 3rd chapter of Micah, if you could familiar with that chapter, it says it's a scripture that talks about bring all the tithes into the storehouse. Are you familiar with that scripture?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We had to read that whole thing every single Sunday. I mean, I knew it verbatim because we had to read it, and it was a scare tactic because at the end of that scripture it says, if you don't give, you're cursed with the curse.
Uh-huh.
And so, and I get what Ron was saying, believe it or not, what Ron D was saying, and I kind of get a little bit what Tyrone was saying a little bit, because that's a scare tactic. And for me, being a younger person, that was scary. Like, shoot, if I don't give, I'm going to be cursed. And a lot of people felt that way. So I kind of get that. I kind of get what they were saying.
But my question is, when did Marvin say that?
No, I'm not saying that Marvin said that, but I'm telling you the mindset of a lot of people based on, because it looked like it was a some type of convention. I don't know. It looked like it may have been a PAW convention, if I'm not mistaken. And the reason why I say that, a lot of those churches kind of do that same thing. And this is just all speculation, right? But based on my own experience growing up in that type of environment, those are the type of things that are said. I've been to so many different churches, and that type of thing, give another $1. If you don't do this, this is going to happen to you. And it's true. The Bible says it's more blessed to give than receive. So I understand it, and it's a couple different things. The thing that I think went wrong, in my opinion, when he closed the doors, and I know you don't feel like that's an issue, but my thing is, church culture if he's saying close that door, even if in your mind I can get up, you can get up, but it's so much brainwashing, and I'll just say it like that people are literally afraid, like something's going to happen to me if I disobey the man of God. You see what I'm saying?
To me, I think those are really weak people.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it, because you was trying not to say the thing. I'm glad you said it. And I won't say that the people are weak, but it's a whole mindset of people being beat down, especially when people use the word, and people are afraid. I only can tell you that because I used to be there, but honey, I ain't afraid no more. Honey,
but
you can't tell me anything.
All he said, again, I want to. Some people talking about Like in general, oh, I don't like it when they close doors. That makes me afraid. Which again, don't go to a play because they close the doors. Oh, I don't like it when they say, I challenge somebody to give $20. Don't watch no telethon because they forever making challenges and stuff like that. So my question is, in this instance, I'm asking legitimately, what did he do wrong?
Okay, let me backtrack a little bit to what you just said, and I made a comment I put some in your comments. Let me see. I just read Ron's comment. Sorry, but anyway, when you go to a play, most likely, more than likely, you don't even know they closed the door because you facing forward and you getting ready for the play. The difference between going to a church like that's, have those type of requests and going to a play, nobody's asking you for money. Ain't nobody begging you for another $1. We need it for that. So that's
not necessarily true, just so you know. I've been to some black ran plays where they took up an offering.
Yeah, but they didn't say, close that door. Knowing a little bit, I've met Marvin Sapp. I've been around Marvin Sapp before, so I kind of his arrogance, but it's not just him. It's a lot of preachers like that, and the church I used to go to was like that too. But what I'm saying is, when he said, "Wait a minute, close those doors," that's an indication to everybody up in there, you better not go through them doors. It's time to give. Now, whether you have it or not, whether you sit there or not, but it's the whole connotation of him just saying that, like, sir. Just look, this is what I learned from going to another church. Is even FAI. Just think about Pastor Dunn. We went to the same church. Pastor Dunn has never done that, and people give. My thing is, if you treat people right, if you do right by people, and then when they have when instances happen to people, when they need help, they can come back and get help. Because that's the thing about a lot of churches like that. When you need help, you can't come back and get help. Anyway, that's besides the point. So my issue with it is that he said close those doors in that moment. That's my only issue with it. I said, I don't believe in that.
So you feel like one of the things, because I'm giving room for there to be more, one of the things was he said close the doors. So
yes.
If, and of course this becomes hypothetical, if he didn't say close the doors, but did everything the exact same, would he be wrong?
For that space, and probably not for that space. But, everything goes online, and everybody has their own interpretation of it. But like I said, I've been in those spaces before, and knowing what I know now, I think, like the Bible says, that God loves a cheerful giver. And if you give him begrudgingly, it's not going to matter anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I would say no, but like Janice made a point, and this is kind of outside of what you just asked, but Janice made a point. It's like, why have an event like that if it's not already funded? And that's what I appreciate about somebody like Pastor Dunn. He brought in so many famous people, gospel singers, and he never asked us for anything. So my thing is, if you can't afford it, if you can't afford to be down at the convention center, honey, have it somewhere else where you can afford, and don't burden the people with that. Like I said, it's a totally different story. I got a lot of issues with a lot of things, but my point is closing the doors was the thing for me. Because even if you look at his facial expressions and the way he said it, close them doors. Wait a minute, close them doors. And like I said, in the church, you know what that means. When you say close them doors, y'all Negroes better not get up. Y'all better get that offering. And then he went on to say, and this is the other thing too, you can't count people's money. Some people, as we both know, especially being in church your whole life, people are going through hell and high water. And people just want to come to the church to hear the word. And like you said, if you don't have it, don't give it. But everybody isn't there, Emanuel. And you're a very strong person, and that mentality needs to be shared with a lot of people. If you don't have it, don't give. But it may be somebody who's like, $20 is like a lot for me. $20 is like $1,000 for me because of where they may be. And I think there's a lot of insensitivity that comes from these pastors. Honey, raise the offering. Let people give what they can give. Since you got all the money, you got to single, honey, you fill in the rest. So that's just my opinion.
All right. So it's the closing of the. Look, I understand all the opinions.
Yeah.
I don't agree unless which basically here is what I hear you and Ron and Tyrone and Fame. Basically, this is what I'm hearing y'all say.
Okay.
Emanuel, people are weak and fragile. And it's not fair for non-weak, non-fragile people to take advantage of weak and fragile people by suggestion. That's what I hear.
That's that contrarian spirit coming out.
No, that's
what it is.
No,
oh
that's
the spirit of contrarian.
What else did you say? There's nothing that he did, even based on what you said. There's nothing that he did that was wrong, except the power of suggestion, which is really only effective on people who have, using your word, have been brainwashed or who are afraid to deal with things head on. Like if you don't want to give, you don't give. If you want to leave, you get up and leave. So even based on what you said, he didn't do anything wrong, but the perception by weak, fragile people is what the problem is. That's
so. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's what I heard.
So my question: couldn't he have done the same thing without saying close them doors?
Sure.
Close them doors.
Sure. Absolutely.
So you see the difference in him just doing what he did, and because people do. Me personally, and a lot of people I don't agree with that. I just like you should get what you need to get. But I guess they gave him a number of where he needed. That's why I say y'all on live, everybody. We need everybody to give. But don't you think he could have done the same exact thing without closing the door? Because that, to me, I think that was way too much.
And again, I understand what you're saying. I don't know why what I'm saying is going over some people's heads. Like, I'm saying it as plain as I can. Y'all don't like me saying weak and fragile.
I get it. To be honest, I get that. I get it. I get exactly what you're saying.
So, here, let me say this. He could have not said close the doors. He could have not challenged people to give $20. He could have not pointed out how many people were in the room. He could have not asked the preachers to give $100. He could have not said that he was trying to reach a goal of $40,000. He could have not pointed out that there were people watching online. He could have just said, they could have not taken up an offering even. You know what I'm saying? But the idea that because he did all of those things, somebody felt captured and pressured with no one actually saying anything to make people feel that way, except for that's something that's been ingrained in them. People, how dare you say that these are weak and fragile people? Because non-fragile, non-weak, non-brainwashed, if you want to use that term, people would have been, if you didn't have $20, would you have given $20?
No, I mean,
exactly.
And my thing is the people that were in the facility or in the sanctuary they didn't give it anyway.
Right.
Let me change my term because maybe brainwashed. Let me say conditioned. Maybe that sounds better if I say the people were conditioned to be a certain type of way because of people. And I'm not, like I said, I've been around Marvin Sapp. I know his person. I know his spirit. I've been around him. Very arrogant. But then you got a celebrity too coming in. And, people are intimidated by celebrities. So basically, like I said in the beginning, I think the door thing, because that's what they do in that culture. That's what they do in those type of churches. That's what they do. So for most people, that's a norm. But then when you bring it outside to the people who are unchurched, who probably never stepped foot in the church, that looks like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, how dare he? He's asked for money. Let me give this one perspective. One of my Facebook friends, he said, it tells me a lot about the people who are reacting. He said that y'all are broke. He said $20 is nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, but then that's what I'm saying. When you put it out there, and not that he put it out there, you put it out there, you just get all different perspectives because people are not from the same walks of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That's it?
Yep, that's it. Unless
All
you
right.
got something else for me.
No. I appreciate your
All
call.
right.
All right.
All right. Hey, I do got something. Wait.
Okay.
E-Man,
Yes.
we can't be friends no more.
Okay.
Because I don't like this. Look, a friend is a friend to the end. Listen, I can't do this if the weather is good. Honey, I can't help this weather is nice down here most of the time.
Oh,
and I can't help you stayed up in there in cold Cincinnati. You okay? Okay?
No.
If we're going to be friends, we got to be friends 365.
I'm telling you right now, I am a fair weather friend.
That is horrible. That is horrible.
Oh.
I'm just messing with. I get a good laugh out of it every time. I'm just messing with you, man.
Oh,
We cool.
Tanika,
All right, I'm gonna let you go.
I appreciate your call.
All right, thank you.
Oh, that's Tanika. Hold on, let me deal with some more of the text messages. All right, I was trying to not call you out, Shahira. Look, I'm telling you, if you don't think being an idiot is a name, maybe I don't think being a bitch is being called a name, right? Me talking about maybe personality traits or whatever is not calling people names. But somebody saying you an idiot is definitely calling somebody a name. So what I'm saying is we can disagree. I'm cool with we disagree. I didn't call nobody a name. I said I think that's weak. That's not calling nobody a name. That's saying a personality trait of someone who would give money that they don't have because they felt intimidated. But if Fame would have been on here and I'd have been like, Fame, you an idiot. That's me calling Fame a name. And if Fame says to me, Emanuel, you an idiot, I'm gonna say, and you's a bitch, nigga, now what? I don't want to do that. We don't have to call each other names because we disagree. That's all I'm saying. And then you kind of double down on it. So if that's the conversation that we want to have, again, I can do it. I don't necessarily want to, but if that's what we're going to do, it's cool. I would rather just we disagree. That's what I would rather have. So can we just disagree? That's what I would rather see happen. Jerica says, hold on. Oh, they coming in hot and heavy. Hold on. I don't run from this stuff, y'all. I'm sorry. We don't have to agree with you. We can't just agree to disagree. You ask for our opinions, but we are weak and fragile. Why ask for our opinions? First, you didn't call. I didn't call you anything. But had you called in and said, people are afraid to not give if someone asks them for that money, I'm going to say, that sounds like a weak person to me. Which is the comments that were made. Now, I don't actually know where you sit on the issue. But asking for an opinion and disagreeing doesn't mean I don't get to give my rebutting opinion. That's the way conversations go, especially in these types of spaces. So if you call in and say, maybe people scared to not give because he's a pastor, and I say, then those people are fragile. That don't mean you don't have a right to your opinion. It just means I'm sharing my opinion on your opinion. And if you don't want to share your opinion, I'm cool with that too. But I'm going to ask your opinion. And just because you give your opinion, don't mean I have to sit here and agree with it. If you give me an opinion and I feel a way about it, I get to share how I feel about it. It's what's going to happen. I think I saw Janice saying, hey, You have to be able to afford whatever. Why put on the event if you can't afford it? You know why people sell tickets to events that they put on? They have to put up an initial investment. You got to rent the venue. You got to pay for lighting. You got to pay for sound. You got to pay for set design. You got to pay for, labor, all the talent. If I didn't already say the talent, all the technical people to run all of the stuff. You have to have that in advance. But you still want to recoup that money. That's why people sell tickets. Because they want to recoup that money and then maybe make some money on top of that. So the idea that a church or an organization shouldn't put on a conference and then, because a lot of times some conferences you pay a fee to come to and some conferences are open, and the way that they try to recoup those costs is they take up an offering. So if it costs me $40,000 to rent the facility, to pay the speakers, to get the sound, the lighting, blah, 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 and then y'all all come in for free and enjoy everything, and I say, I would love for 1,000 people or 2,000 people to give $20. Well, you should have been able to afford this instead of doing. Now I'm trying to recoup my costs. I wanted to do something, but I want to recoup those costs and make some money just like anybody else. That only makes sense to me. So you want the church to just spend $40,000 on a conference and walk away with nothing? Just, we lost $40,000, but people sure had a good time. No, we want to recoup those costs. Because we can't just throw out $40,000 just for the heck of it. That makes sense to me. That's like saying Santangelo, hey, pay all the artists, get all the lighting, get all the sound, bring them in, and just let everybody sit there and enjoy it and then go home. How's Santangelo gonna do the same thing next year if he don't make that money back at least? That only makes sense, that the church would want to make that money back. I don't understand. I don't understand. Somebody said, you've been calling names. Who did I call a name? Who did I call a name? Shahira said, we can disagree. We disagree all the daggone time. But going from idiot to bitch is way too far. No, it's not. You don't get to determine how offended my fragile self might be based on what you call me. And so you don't get to say, well, idiot is stronger than bitch. So if I call you an idiot, then you got to call me an idiot, and then I get to take it to the next level. No. How about just nobody call nobody no names? And then we don't have to try to measure which one is stronger and which one is too far. For me, a bitch might be that. I ain't do nothing but call me a bitch. Idiot. Oh, now I'm ready to fight. There's no, you don't get to make that determination. So the way to kind of squash all of that is nobody call nobody a name. And then we just agree to disagree and we debate the merits of it and, whatever. I'm just trying to help y'all. Oh, boy. I don't know. Did I get everything? Did I get everybody? Shahira say, that's what I said. Now you're being fragile, but get on weak people in church being coerced and give them when they can't afford it. But squash it all and agree to disagree. I'm not 100% sure what that means. But yes, we disagree. And as far as I'm concerned, those are, if you, I mean, for real, what else would, so y'all help me. What would you call it? If I got on here and I said, I challenge everybody on here to give me $5 right now, send it to my Cash App. And somebody said, I don't have $5. If I give him $5, I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. But they give me the $5 anyway. Like, oh, because he said he wanted $5 and I was so intimidated by him saying he wanted $5 that, wouldn't that, I would look at that person and be like, that's kind of weak and fragile. You should have just not gave the $5 if you didn't have it. What would you call that person? How would you classify that person who didn't have the money but gave it to me anyway just because I asked them to give it to me and they felt intimidated because you know who he is? What would you call that person? How would you classify that person? I would say that was a weak person. Why would you give me money that you don't have, that you can't afford to give me just because I asked for it? I would say weak. I would say fragile. But if you said, the little baby shut the show down or turn off the phones before asking for $5 would be different. I don't think it would be different, but even if it would, I would still say if I said, lock up their sites right now so can't nobody log off. Now, I'm challenging y'all to give me $20. And somebody said, I don't have $20. I don't have it to give. The only $20 I got is going for my water bill. If I give this $20, my water gonna get cut off. But he said to give him $20, so let me give it to him. And now my water just gonna be off. How would you classify that person? Brenda says a willing participant. Anthony says, I ain't giving nobody my last money. Right, and that's my point. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So you don't like me saying that's weak. I think it's weak. You don't like me saying that's fragile. I think it's fragile. Janice says indoctrinated. Oh, I'm sure somebody would be offended by that. You saying I'm indoctrinated? Whichever way you look at it, whatever label you put on it, but then do you blame me for asking for the $20 or for the $5? It's my fault because I asked for the $5. That's all I'm saying. It's really, to me, it's almost like the Diddy thing. I didn't force you to give me the money. I didn't force you to give me the fellatio. I put that up there as an option. You chose that option for whatever reason. If you chose it because you were scared that you couldn't leave, even though nobody threatened you. If you chose it because you wanted a better career. If you chose it because you didn't want to be embarrassed. If you chose it because, oh, he was the man of God and I got to do what the man of God say. Either way it go, you're the one who chose it. You made a decision. How do you blame the person for asking for it? My ex say, I ain't giving nobody no money if I don't feel like it. Dude's delivery was a little cross, but he didn't force nobody to do anything. Besides, we've all been in church with money and didn't tithe, just like we all been in church broke. We ain't never been in church broke. You give what you can give and what you want to give. Exactly. Exactly. Ron says, you really willing to offend your listeners because you want to offend me? Ron, ain't nobody even thinking about you. I'm not thinking about you when I'm saying this stuff. I'm thinking about people. You really think I'm sitting here like, how can I offend Ron? If I say this, then Ron will be offended. I genuinely don't think I'm saying anything offensive. I genuinely don't think I'm saying anything offensive. It's never my desire to offend anybody, and I think you give yourself, it's all in your mind, you've created this level of importance of yourself that in my mind and heart, you don't have. I mean, I like you, you know what I'm saying, as a person, met you seem like a really cool dude, but you really think I've been doing this for, it's not telling me how long this show been on. But you really think this whole 2.5 hours was, I'm gonna offend Ron. Oh, I know just what to say. No. I promise you, I don't think that saying that people, if you don't have it, you shouldn't give it is offensive. I don't think saying because somebody closed a door does not mean you're not allowed to leave. I don't think that's offensive. I don't think saying challenging somebody to give you $20 is not the same as intimidating them. I don't think that's offensive. I don't think saying if you want to leave a place, even if the doors is closed, get up and leave that place is offensive. I don't think saying don't give nobody head if you don't want to give them head is offensive. I don't think saying weigh your options carefully. If somebody puts options in front of you, you're responsible for choosing the best option, and you kind of got to live with that decision. I don't think that's offensive. I don't think it's offensive to say, if you're grown, you shouldn't be worried about being embarrassed by what people gonna think about you if you don't have what they think you should have. I don't think that's offensive. I don't think any of that stuff is offensive. Ron says, yeah, if you didn't talk about my mama and my daddy trying to send me, I would think something different. What? I don't recall saying nothing about your mama or your daddy. What in the world? What is happening? What? Are you a bit obsessive with giving head? How? It was a story. And I think I've only used that term one time the whole show. It was a story. How am I being obsessive about it? I had 2 topics on the table, 2 stories that I was discussing. I think I've talked a whole lot more about the Marvin Sapp story than about the Diddy story. So how am I obsessing about the... I don't know what be happening sometimes. I'm sorry, Janice. I know that's not the correct conjugation of those verbs and whatnot. But sometimes I'm not sure what happens. I just... How about calling your listeners weak? If they're weak, which I'm not sure that anybody on here is saying, if I was in that room, I would have been forced to give $20. I think almost to a person, nobody on here is saying, if I was in that room, I would have felt forced to give $20. So I'm talking about the people who would have felt forced to give $20. Now, if that's you, be offended. Because I am saying I think that's weak. I think that shows some sort of a weakness. But is anybody in this room? Now I'm asking honestly, is there anybody in this room who, if you're in a room with somebody and they say, I challenge you to give $20, you feel like you must give $20? Anybody in this chat who feel that way? Anybody? Because if not, then all of the pearl clutching, you said weak, you said fragile, you said this, oh, you said that. I wasn't even talking about you. So what you so upset about? Don't clean it up. I ain't cleaning nothing up. I'm just thinking about what I said. But he said weak. Oh my God, I can't believe he said that that's weak. That's weak. If that's you, gather yourself. And the next time you in a room and somebody say, I challenge you to get $20. If you don't have it, don't give it. Don't give it. And then you'll see how it feels. Barbara says, stop beating a dead horse. Damn. Barbara, people are commenting and I'm responding to people's comments. Damn. Do you not comprehend that? Can you not see the comments? You can't see them coming in? And you see me read one and then respond to it? So why don't you tell the people, stop commenting about the story? Damn. You're right. How dare I read the comments and respond to them? I'm just so wrong. I'm so out of order today. What I look like, reading comments and responding to them. I'm wrong. I apologize. Everybody, I apologize for reading your comments and responding to them. I'm sorry. My bad. Because of Barbara, I will not do that anymore. Barbara, you got me. I won't read no more comments and respond to them. I'm sorry. I won't do it. Barbara, you showed me the light. I see the light. Earlier today, I heard people insinuating again that I've instructed my brother not to call Lincoln Ware Show. And it was 2 tricks on there on Lincoln's show saying that I told, they didn't say my name, but I'm wise enough to know what they were insinuating. And I'm telling both of those tricks that that's not true. You're spreading lies. Actually, it was 3 tricks. I'm not including Lincoln in the tricks, but he's one of them. He a grown man with his own mind and his own thoughts. He got his own phone. He live in his own city. And if he want to call, he can call. I'm not telling anybody who to call or who not to call. As a matter of fact, if anything, I I still defend that dude. When people say, oh, he ain't got no talent. Like, yes, he do. Oh, he didn't know. He not that. I still listen to his show when I can. Why would I be telling somebody not to call him? And people make up in their minds. They make up in their minds, like, oh, I know that's what's going on. And I'm like, you don't know, because it's not. But people want to create their own drama. People want to, and act like it's like real. Like this is real. But it's not. I'm going to tell y'all this about me. This is part of who Emanuel is. Emanuel want to see everybody succeed. I want to see everybody win. Even if you don't like me, I want to see you win. Even if I don't like you, I want to see you win. Again, when people call here, talk about Nathan Ivey, no, you can't talk. I don't do that. Look, I can't even see his content. He got me blocked. I can't see his content. This is a man who went around telling people lies on me. And I can't see his content. But if you call in here like, oh, this is what I heard on Nathan Ivey's show, I'm not shutting you down. I will still say to this day, because I'm confident in who I am. That daggone Nathan Ivey, his real name is Deion Griffin, that daggone Nathan Ivey is a good talk show host. Me acknowledging his talents and abilities don't diminish me. And I root for him to win. Now, I don't send people his way because I can't send nothing his way. Because I can't even get to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hater, but I'm a hater on some level. But I'm not a hater of nobody's success. I want everybody to win. If you doing something, I want you to win. I don't know. It's a flaw. It's a flaw that I have. I want to see everybody win. So, again, spreading lies about me, because that's, in my mind, that's what it is. If you are spreading the idea that I am telling people to not call in some sort of attempt to sabotage somebody else's show, you spread lies about me. I don't like that. I ain't gonna fight you. I ain't gonna fight you about it. I mean, unless you attack me and then I'll defend myself. I ain't gonna fight you about it. But I don't like it. I don't like it. And you should stop doing it. Because you're just going to make me not like you. I don't know why you would want me to not like you. I don't know you. And somebody said, mention the name. Oh, I'm not supposed to be looking at the comments and responding. I apologize. I was going to, but I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to read the comments and respond. So I'll read the comments, but I won't respond to them. I got you, Barbara. I got you. So I'm sorry, I can't say the names of the people because that would be responding. But I'm sure they know who they are. I'm sure they know who they are. Yeah, but I don't know why people do that. I don't know why people like conflict, I guess. People like conflict. And because, that's a part of I want to see everybody win. But there's another part of me that want to tell the truth. I'm a big proponent of the truth or the part of the story that you don't know or that you don't get to see. I'm a big proponent of this is what's behind this. You know what I'm saying? I'm a proponent of that. And I guess that get me in trouble because that make it seem like, oh, you hating. And sometimes I be hating. But I hate with the truth. I hate with the truth. I don't lie on people. I don't lie on people. I tell the truth on people. Like, who was I watching? It's the old saying, like, you know, if you quit lying on me, then I'll stop telling the truth about you. I'm one of those people. If you quit lying on me, then I'll stop telling the truth about you, except for I probably won't stop. Once I start telling the truth about you, I've probably given you ample time to stop lying on me. I've probably warned you, 10, 15, 20 times. Like, why don't you just stop spreading that lie? Why don't you just stop spreading that lie? If you don't start, then I don't have to jump in. Why don't you just, So once I get to the point where, okay, that's who we are. That's what we doing. Let's do it. Then I'm one of those people who like, hey, let me just tell the whole truth. Well, no, let me tell the part of the truth that I want to tell. Because I got to hold some truth back so that I can tell that the next time. I'm being honest. That's who I am. If you never get me to the point where I'm telling the truth about you, then you don't ever have to worry about it. But if you get me to the point where I'm telling the truth about you, did you know this? Like, what? Yeah. Like, did he tell the whole story? Nope. Because did you know this? What? Yeah. Oh, man, I didn't know that. Well, did you know this? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Is it more? Yeah, I can't tell you right now. I got to wait. Because I'd have to drop it like a series, leave you with a cliffhanger. So y'all stop saying stuff about me that ain't true. Just stop it. Let me live in peace. Let me live in peace. Y'all make me do stuff that I don't want to do. Y'all make me do stuff that I want to do, that I don't want to do. And I really don't. See, I saw a comment. I was about to respond to it. Mike says, that's not Love Zone, E. I can just read it. I can't respond to it. I got you, Barbara. I got you. Ooh, what else? There was something else. Oh, y'all know they still trying to mess with old girl Jasmine Crockett. They still trying to mess with her. But I'm down with her. I know it's wrong to kind of make fun of disabled people. But I think I'm here with this. And this kind of go back to what I was saying before. How many opportunities have the Republican Party had to tell Trump, stop calling people names, stop making fun of people, stop, all of the different stuff that he do. Y'all know all the names he got for people and the way that he just mocked people. And he's been doing it since, 2015, 14, probably well before then, but in the political arena, 2014, 15, 16. They've had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to say that's foul and it's unacceptable in the political arena. Stop it. But they've chosen not to do that. They've chosen to just dismiss it as some personality quirk. And they've told us that that people shouldn't be snowflakes. That one of the things that they admire about him is basically that he attacks people. They admire that he calls people names. He just tell it like it is. He's not worried about political correctness and wokeism and anything else that they want to call it. When he says bad stuff and people say that's out of order, he's not your conventional politician. And somehow it's admirable. Well, you know, he's a fighter. You know, he can give it as well as anybody. All of that stuff is out. They put that out there. It's just who he is. Y'all relax. She calls somebody Governor Hot Wheels, and they ready to censure her. They ready, censure. Oh, we need to censure her. Again, he can make fun of that dude and get elected. He can call people all manner of names. Racial, be as insensitive as he want. What he call her, Pocahontas? He can call that lady Pocahontas during the State of the Union address. Well, technically it wasn't the State of the Union address, but it was the State of the Union address. He can do that. Oh, he's giving it to him. He's giving it to him. It's the bully who loves to bully. And then as soon as somebody stand up to him and hit back, they crying, he hit me. But you've been pummeling him every day. For what, 8 years? Every day for 8 years, you've been hitting him. And then he hit you back. And now you want to come and tell? Come on. And then the people on our side, and I get it. And when I say our side, I'm talking about the side of right and righteousness. Not necessarily Democrats. But in this endeavor, the people who are on the side of right, to me, right being, don't talk about people. Don't make fun of people. But if you do, expect to be made fun of and talked about. The people on that side is now like, oh, I think she went too far. Oh, I think she went too far. You just don't make fun of disabled people. Oh, she should apologize. Oh, she should walk it back. To me, that's tantamount to the bully beating your ass every day. And then you hit them back. And then all your friends like, oh, no, you shouldn't hit people. Oh, no, don't hit nobody. Oh, no, that's wrong. Oh, you shouldn't hit people. Hold on. So the alternative is to just get my ass beat every day. Because he's not going to stop hitting me. And so you're suggesting I just get my ass beat every day? Yeah, that's not going to happen. And I understand it because you want to have the moral high ground. And under normal circumstances, that would be a good thing. If we were in a pre-Trump world where, okay, you start making fun of people, and then us as a society say, that is not acceptable. We will not accept that. Then, oh, that's so wrong. Oh, that's so wrong. No, that is so wrong. And then, no, okay, well, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. If we were living in that world, cool. Claim the high ground. Claim the high ground. But we clearly not living in that world. We're clearly not living in that world. We're living in the world of the gladiators. I don't know a whole lot about the gladiators, but I know what I see in movies. I know what I read about. And the gladiators, when they go into the Colosseum, they fight to death. Not all the time, but in this particular example, they're fighting to the death. And they're using any means necessary to kill each other. They throwing lions in there with them. They got swords and tridents. All kind of specialized weaponry. And what? You trying to send somebody in there and tell them, okay, these are the rules. Hold on, they not following no rules. They are not following the rules. They ain't no ref out there talking about time. We gonna take 1 point away from you. 1 point. All right, go back in it. Ain't no ref doing that. You want me to go in there with boxing gloves on? No hitting behind the head. They got tridents and swords and lions and tigers and shit. But I can't hit behind the head. Please. We living in the time of the gladiators. I'm sorry, I got to hit behind the head. Otherwise, I'm going to keep losing. Because people are enjoying the nonsense that he doing. Yeah, they all in the arena and everybody's cheering. Go, go, go. And I'm sitting here trying to box. Follow the rules. Bob and weave. No hitting behind the head. He trying to cut me. And people loving it. And then we sitting there talking about, oh, you can't hit behind the head. We're wrong if we hit behind the head. Please. That's why y'all don't control the House or the Senate or the Supreme Court or the White House. Y'all been trying to play by the rules for 8 years. Did Mitch McConnell play by the rules when he wouldn't let Merrick Garland, Barack Obama nominate Merrick Garland? Nope. And he said, nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Hold on, but it's his right to, not going to do it. Not going to do it. You can't call someone Hot Wheels. It's making fun of a disability. Make fun of more of them. We are at the time when they need a taste of their own medicine. Jasmine shouldn't be the only one under fire right now for saying inappropriate stuff. It should be more people right there with her. Well, we have to respect the office. The people in the office don't respect the office. Well, that's why we have to be above them. And even though they don't respect the office, we have to respect the office. That's how you end up with them having the majority on the Senate. I mean, majority on the Supreme Court. Well, majority in the Senate too, but I really don't know if the Democrats will learn the lesson of Trump. I would like to see the Democrats take back the White House. Reverse everything Trump did. And then do some stuff for their own, for the people. Do I believe I'm going to see that? No. But I like to see it. Myosha, I see your comment. I can't respond to it, but I do see it. I want to respond to it, but you know me. You know me. All right, y'all. I'm looking at the time. It is after 6:30. I said I was gonna be out of here at 5, but I'm not. So I'm about to get out of here now. I support Jasmine Crockett, even though I don't always like her delivery. And they know we support Jasmine Crockett. They know we support Jasmine Crockett. Again, that's why they keep trying to tell you, you know she ain't from the hood. You know she ain't from the hood. She's educated. You know she actually educated. Yeah, we know. That's probably why she got elected. Because she was an educated sister who didn't come off as some chick trying to, who was above everybody else. I can't say we. I like my educated black women grounded. I like the chick that went to the nice schools and got the good education and got a good job and is successful and confident and can say child please. Is that what she did that they thought was hood when she said child please? And old girl was like, I'm not a child. Do you not understand child please don't mean that you're an actual child? You don't understand that? I don't want a woman who don't know what child please mean. You know what I'm saying? I don't want an educated black woman that if somebody say child please, they like, I'm not a child. What are you talking about? I don't want that woman. I want a sister who's educated. I like that. I like that. We know. Y'all keep telling us what we already know. That's a part of what makes her attractive to us as a politician. All the stuff that y'all think is bad, we kind of like that. You think it's bad that she's educated? We like that she's educated. You think it's bad that she's well-spoken? We like that she's well-spoken. You think it's bad that she's successful? We like that she's successful. You think it's bad because she say stuff like child please? We like that she say stuff like child please. We like that she know those colloquialisms. With all of that, makes her a really attractive candidate. All right, I'm about to ruin it all right here. It's almost the same as liking a lady in the street and a freak in the bed. We like that she can be both. I like to be seen with her respectable and she carry herself well and all that kind of stuff. But when she get home, I like that she know what she doing and she do it. We like that. That's attractive. I'm going to keep bringing it up because I keep hearing it on conservative talk. Like they think they got something and they tricking some of the brothers, and I hear some of the brothers using those same talking points. I hear some of the brothers using those same talking points. And I wanted to, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people are influenced by other people. You know, old Dave said that she was educated and that's a bad thing. Old Dave don't know what he's talking about in that case. Not that old Dave actually said that. I don't know what old Dave think about it. But I'm just saying, people are influenced by other people. Staban said, who am I endorsing for city council? I'm not even sure right now who all is running. So I'd have to see who running. But as far as I can tell right now, the current people on city council, well, hold on. There's only two current people on city council that I can say, fairly certainly that oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Barbara. I saw a comment. I read it. And I was responding to it. And I shouldn't do that. I'm sorry. Maybe, yeah. I was about to do it again. So maybe Tuesday we'll talk about it. Maybe Tuesday we'll talk about it. I got to get out of here because I keep making mistakes. See, I be going good. And then veer off and just do something that I ain't got no business doing. All right, I appreciate y'all. It is a nice evening out there. I want y'all to enjoy yourselves. And as always, as you are out enjoying yourself this entire weekend, as always, be the reason that somebody smiles. Until next time, I'm out, y'all.